coping, coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping, coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping, coping so hard, coping and seething.
Don't watch. Turn off the TV. Go and touch grass, please, for God's sake.
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory. Every single person of, that's intelligent, hardworking, ambitious, had dreams and goals, has abandoned England in the last 200 years.
Holy crap! Holy crap!
If you're violating YouTube's terms of service, you're gonna get penalized. Cry me a mother river.
Cry me a river, I'm crashing like a blimp. The only people doing this are me and all my simps. I'm twerking in the chair, that's how I know I'm sick. Now visit me in jail and tell me I'm a fucking dick.
It's astounding. This mortal really is something else. Look at that brilliant form. There can be no doubt. This is the true power, complete in all its majesty. This is autonomous, ultra, incel.
Yahoo! With guns!
Hell yeah.
La 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 la.
But it's a me, Mario.
Yeah, tell it to the judge.
Defenders of lore, and we
Yeah! Hello! Hello, everybody, ladies, gentlemen, and nothing in between, of course. It is WTF Live. That's right, mother lickers. It's time to take out the trash and clean up all the latest and the not so greatest, freshly squeezed out bullshit from pop culture and politics, particularly if you're Doctor Who or the gaming industry, which has decided basically it's going to destroy itself. And we're all here to laugh at it at this point. You're watching Will of the Fans. My name is still Will. See what I still did there? It's been almost 3 years at this point, and it's my birthday at midnight, and I will be turning 40. Oh God, no!
It's not as bad as they say. I can tell you.
I think I'm gonna.
It's as bad as they say. I will tell you.
Wait, I'm the youngest on the panel for once. That's amazing.
I'm the old man, I hear, probably.
Well, I'm eternal because I'm a wizard. So
yes, of course.
I'm timeless because I'm a techno wizard.
Well, it's not every day that we have, a member of the Astari on the panel. So we'll be enjoying that privilege in just a moment. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yes, it's WTF Live 121. It is time to talk about the death of the game industry. But of course, I'm joined as always by Problematic White Guy, aka John, and joining us for the first time ever. Literally, I just reached out last week. I've been watching this guy's channel for a little while now, and I've been very impressed. And he was absolutely lovely to talk to. Very, very graciously agreed to come and join us for this episode of the show. It is, of course, Mr. Real Life Fake Wizards. So we will get to our intros. Let's do John first, and you tell us what's up, buddy.
Indeed. Actually, not too much. I stayed up all day on Sunday and then into Monday. Was probably up for about close to 36 hours, minus a 90-minute nap that I took before joining the late-night pool party on Stupenzo's, which was a fun time. We finally finished up that whole thing. Still not quite sure what it is. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. If you want to go check it out, it's strange and it's weird, and it went for about 6 or 7 hours. But
I don't know how you do this stuff. I can't do this. Literally, I have to apologize to my audience because they were waiting for hyperdrive time this morning, my time, and my wife woke me up 20 minutes after the show finished, and I was in my chair. I'd fallen asleep setting it up. I'm exhausted. How are you doing this?
I have had chronic insomnia my entire life. I generally live on a fasting-based kind of lifestyle. So I'm just I'm always awake and I got nothing else going on. So I'm the man on the internet, I guess. But yeah, I did once I did go to sleep though. I crashed the fuck out and I was dead until midnight. Woke up, caught up with wrestling, watched a few other things, and laid back down, took a nap, and then I'm got my coffee going. All good to go. So LFG, Yeah.
All right. Fair enough, buddy. And Mr. Fake Wizard, Real Life Fake Wizard. I got to tell you, the name of the channel literally just made me click on the first video of yours I ever saw. I thought that's hilarious. That's just I wish I'd come up with that gimmick. That's so damn stupid and brilliant because of it.
It's so
How are
stupid.
It is really stupid. And that's brilliant.
But that was the point. It was, if I'm just a guy, then people aren't I'm just another guy. But as an ideal, you could be more than just a man, right? Isn't that what they said in for the League of Shadows?
Mm-hmm.
In Batman. So I took that concept and I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to be the fake wizard, and I'll talk about real life stuff. Real life fake wizard. There we go.
Yeah. It's brilliant. It's so simple, and I still laugh. I'm not sucking up, chat. All right, it makes me laugh every time I click on one of his videos. I'm just like, that's so dumb. It's brilliant. But
It's really funny. I had thought of putting, if you put a guy in a wizard outfit on a thumbnail, that's got to get clicks, right? And so for me, for a while, it was, but not really to the furthest extent, and then. Archcast did a video reaction to me where he eviscerated one of my weaker videos, rightfully so. Okay. And we ended up doing a panel together where we talked about it. But that video exploded. It exploded. And I texted him, I'm like, dude, thank you for proving my theory on putting a guy in a wizard outfit on a thumbnail is going to work, because you just proved that this is going to work.
Right.
Yeah, it certainly has worked. I mean, I like the presentation. I like what you're doing, but the thing that has really spoken to me lately is that you cut straight to the core of the issue, which is something I always try to do. I think you're doing it better, frankly. And when it comes to like the death of the gaming industry, especially the fact that you seem to have like a tone of sympathy for people who don't get it yet, and that's
I do.
Yeah, they've been led down a primrose path of lies and beguilement. So
yeah.
See,
So I've been loving your work, man. So what's going on with
a
you
lot
then?
of people aren't. Yeah, so I'm back in the hot seat. I was away streaming from Mexico. I was on with Hypnotic and
I missed that
did
one
my
too,
show.
sorry.
And but I'm back now, and I'm hoping to do another video on Borderlands 4. I know we're going to talk about it today, so I'm hoping we get into that. And there's so much going on. People are waking up. Not enough people are waking up, as we could see with the Switch 2, and I think we're going to talk about the Switch as well. But it's like now is the time for us to start talking about at what point do you care?
Yep.
And we need to start defining that threshold, and we need to start telling our audiences to define that threshold and start telling other creators and holding them accountable. If they put their word to something, we not only hold them to it, but we don't forget when they step over it. That's kind of my big push here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's getting faster lately. The insulting of our intelligence and our wallet is getting more and more rapid. It's like the whole industry has decided to become Xbox in 2013 at E3.
And Xbox has decided to become Valve. Or mimic them. Or mimic them.
I can't
at
predict
least.
the future.
No, but
well, I don't.
When I saw that showcase,
I mean, you say that, but how many times have John's weird theories been correct?
Right. He does have a habit of getting weirdly close to the actual resulting future. But go on, man.
Yeah, that last Xbox showcase that they did. I thought Xbox, like, I didn't really think much of them. I didn't take them seriously.
Me neither.
Until the last showcase that they did. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking, oh my God, they're going for gold. They're in it for the long haul. I can see what their strategy is now. And it's 100% Game Pass. They want everybody on Game Pass. They're using the $80 games to get you on the Game Pass so that they own you and you own nothing. And if you don't think that Sony's going to make a pivot like that next, it's coming, folks. It's coming. Because PlayStation 5s aren't selling as well now. The Xboxes aren't selling as well. They need to get all their games. We are in dangerous water. And the $80 games are really the tipping point. And
Chat, do you see why I brought this guy onto the show?
Yeah. And I mean, like with what Wizard's saying, I mentioned it to you right before Wizard showed up in the back room. Like, PlayStation's already making the inroads to that. They are touting the fact that their mid-tier service, which is like $100 when it's on sale, is selling really well, and it's the one that has the Game Pass like access to it. So, and they're like, so we're just going to keep adjusting the price, which and I think it was about I was sitting in college talking about how the future is just going to be basically hardware is going to be non-specific, but it's all going to be based on service network access and all this kind of stuff. So, unfortunately, we are catching up to those times because. Oh, go ahead.
Look at how many games right now are digital only. Even if you go to the store and buy a physical box, there's nothing in the box.
Exactly.
There's nothing in the box. All right. Well,
empty promises.
Key cards is one thing. If you go and buy Split Fiction for the Nintendo Switch 2, it's a card with a code on it.
Yeah, it downloads
Xbox is only putting out digital version games. Like, you can get the collector's edition, but it's just toys at that point. There's no disc in there. You don't actually own anything physical anymore.
I find that to be the most offensive thing when you buy like these steel box series and all the stuff. You spend like $150, $200 some odd dollars. Yeah, like an insane amount, and all it is just tchotchkes and bullshit.
Decoration, and then inside the box is basically an origami video game. It's just like nothing of any value inside
it. It is, or how many discs you buy now that it still needs an 80 gigabyte installation that's not fully on the disc afterwards. It's we are moving so slowly, one step at a time. How much ground are you willing to give up until eventually? Well, Game Pass makes the most sense. PlayStation Plus makes the most sense. It costs me the least amount of money. I know my. Now they could feed us whatever games they want. It's not up to us because buying games like you talk about the player engaged numbers and versus sold numbers.
Oh yeah,
we're going to go straight into
engaged,
and then you're going to get all of the slop that you could imagine, all of it, because they're not held accountable anymore for their losses because there won't be any.
Yeah, and if for some reason you actually do get a game that has all the stuff actually on it. It'll have unlocked DLC that's actually on the disc, and so you have to pay for stuff that's already there. They just literally put it behind a paywall.
Well, I mean, that's what they've always done, really. It sort of shifted that way around about 2014 or something like that. It was like you're getting games now that have the stuff on the disc and you can't access it until you pay the DLC price. Then it unlocks and it's already on the disc.
They were grooming us all the way back then.
It's obnoxious, it's disgusting, it's exploitative, it's predatory, it needs to get in the sea. The obvious uptick, the silver lining is the apparent beautiful rise of AA that's going on at the same time, which we'll deal with last, because I'd like to end on a sort of a high note. And we are watching these fuckers get felted every which way by really little games that have come out of nowhere, like Expedition 33 and then of course Stellar Blade, which is not quite as little and obscure as Expedition 33 was, but it still absolutely counts and it is still making a laughing stock of the industry. So we'll get to all of that stuff, and we have a lot to talk about. We got plenty of games to talk about between Nintendo, Borderlands, and then everything else that's going on. Anything else you want to bring up too, feel free to add it, and I'll try to find something relevant to put on the screen for it. Before we start anything else, I need to do
these fans.
a little bit. I need to do a little bit of fan service for the audience who love when I roast the shit out of Doctor Who. I don't know, Wizard. Do you know anything about Doctor Who?
I watch Doctor Who religiously through 9, 10, 11.
Oh right, Doctor's 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
12, Capaldi's era, to me, he's like the best Doctor with the worst writing, at least in modern times, until it got to all the shit that's not Doctor Who afterwards, Yeah.
I kind of fell off after the 50th.
That's totally understandable.
I saw the ending for Matt Smith, and I got through a handful of episodes with Capaldi. It just feels like it's gone on for too long. And which is crazy for Doctor Who, but
right. Well, I mean, with this current, the last 20 years of them getting so ideologically locked in with their creative processes and things like that, they learned all the wrong lessons about applying modern, when I was in art school, they taught you the formula, and that's why I've been so good about projecting into the future what was going to happen in the game industry, because I just looked at what was happening in movies and television and the stuff that they were teaching us. I always tell people you can't spell narrative design without DEI, and that's really where it all started. And the first time I ever heard that term was when I showed up at art school, and they're like, oh, so we need to talk about the human experience and making games that go beyond. It's like, can't we just have fun, blow shit up, and teach me how to use Unity or Godot or any of this other stuff? It's like, oh, we're gonna teach you how to do Unreal and how to go to GDC and exchange business cards. Yeah, the writing was on the wall at that moment. I was like, oh, this is fucked.
Sorry, I was mildly distracted by some event that happened in the chat that we'll get to in just a second.
That was pretty big.
Yeah. Well, that's friendship, man. We've been through a lot together, so I can see why. There's so much support today. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's my birthday in 2.5 hours, roughly speaking. I'll be 40 years old. It's a long time coming.
We will try to not keep you all the way until the moment of your birthday.
No, well, I mean, it's like I'm sort of torn between the fact that I should get off the stream at 2 hours and I could stay on and wait until it happens. But
we'll see
we'll
what
figure
happens.
it out. Maybe I'll just go live tomorrow or something. Who knows? I'll probably play Expedition 33 anyway because I'm trying right now to break my characters with ridiculous builds.
Did you finish it?
Not yet. I'm in the end game.
Oh.
I haven't got to the end yet. I haven't faced Renoir in Lumiere yet, but I am freely exploring the map and flying.
Okay.
So I know everything about the Descendre family and stuff. Predicted almost all of it. I
love that game.
I love that game. That is one of my favorite games of all time. And I keep shit checking myself on that statement. I keep going, you sure? Is this just recency bias? Like, does it hold up against FF10 and FF7 and Zelda Ocarina of Time and stuff? Yes, it does. Yes, it fucking does. It completely does. No question. I am completely convinced this is one of the best games ever made. I don't care.
It has a beautiful ending.
Yeah, well, I've been. Someone has told me that it has two endings, one good and one bad. But that was.
I'll
both
say
in
this.
quotes.
We should talk after you finish it. I'm not going to spoil anything at all.
Yeah.
As a father, you are going to make a deliberate choice, and you will get you will choose an ending because you're a father.
Okay,
I promise.
That's something.
I have this philosophy
or
about it.
Yeah,
that men are going to go with one specific ending. Fathers are going to go with one specific ending, and then anybody else is going to go with another ending. And I'm willing to bet you pick the father ending.
If it's what I think it will be, I've pretty much already made that decision, and I had made that decision as soon as I discovered what real Renoir was trying to do. I'm like, I'm having a hard time arguing with him.
You will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Let me put it that way.
Because I think it was B-Man at the time when I found out when I played that sequence. Was like, whose side are you on? And I was like, what do you mean? Whose side am I on? And it was like, as the scene went on, it was like, well, you're either with Mael or you're with Renoir. I'm like, I think I'm with Renoir. I kind of wish I wasn't because I feel like an asshole, but I think I am. You know, like I kind of need him to get what he wants. You know,
the guy who's trying to save his family.
Yeah, like the guy who'd do anything to save his family. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that's where I'm kind of leaning at the moment. But we'll see. Of course, at the end, I might. Last minute, probably won't change my mind. To be honest, I'm not that guy. Once I've set my mind on something, I usually see it through. Especially as I've become a really militant and dedicated father since becoming a father. I've become like such a patriarch. It's kind of cringe at times how much I'm like, no, I will not let you do
though, because all of the media that we consume, the games, the movies, the television shows. There are no masculine, strong males, but especially fathers.
I feel like I'm not saying like
had a bearing on it. Masculinity. No. I'm just saying like good men. Disney doesn't have good men in anything anymore. The dads are either stupid or the bad guys, or they traumatize
the part of the
kids.
Joke. Yeah, the part of the joke or the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. My weird crazy man take on all that is that the idea is to diminish the strength of men and actual masculinity so that big daddy government can be the hierarchy that a lot of women and woke white women especially, which as we know means people of all persuasions and shapes, colors, sizes,
the worst thing ever.
Return to give them safety and protection.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think it's an overcompensation to some extent from the fact that I'm watching and I'm so close to the devil's edge of the zeitgeist of what's going on that there's a part of me that has kind of overcompensated for that by trying to be like the father, the patriarch, but it's working. My wife loves it. So, I'm not going to stop. And if that ends up influencing my decision in the smallest of expressions of that, which is a video game, for fuck's sake. It's nothing really. But everyone's got so much stock in it.
Though? It's kind of a mirror, especially in games like that where you're actually involved in like well-written stories, things like that. Like the way you experience something.
If you give me a choice, and I feel like the choice is going to be fantasy versus reality or fantasy versus family, and if that's the choice you're presenting me with, I already know which way I'm going to go. And I hate that I'm going to go that way to some extent, but I'm not going to say no to it.
Will, you're gonna go back and just watch the other ending on YouTube afterwards, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer."
Okay, right. Okay, cool. All right, that's enough. I don't want to know any more about it. But I'm looking forward to getting there. It's just I'm trying to make it last a little longer because I'm really having so much fun, and I'm just starting to dip my toe into, I can one-shot anything in this game if I just sort of hack my characters a little bit. And I've got all the points to be able to do it now. I'm like in the sort of 70s level wise, and I'm like, I can make this character invincible and destroy anything if I just tweak it a little. So
I love when you look at the mechanics of and the systems on games and how they work, and when you actually understand the fundamental map behind it, and just like, all right, so I'm going to do this, this, and this, and you just make these uber characters.
And the best thing is, it doesn't take 400 hours to do it like it did in Final Fantasy X. I got the platinum in that game, and it was insane. The stuff you had to do, like the meta game, just hanging out at the monster arena all the time, grinding for different, like getting weapons that convert damage into overdrive into AP or something, just to get around the fucking sphere grid a million times until you filled every last empty sphere, and give your characters 255 stats on everything by the end, just to be, for what? I don't know, just for the platinum trophy. I used to be like that. Now I don't care anymore, but I do want to make sure I get.
Do that. Square Enix games are grind fests, and
they are now.
Usually it's through ridiculous mini games that are not fun. They're not fully polished. They're like kind of cheap.
And they're mechanically busted.
Yeah,
it's like the pull-up thing that they added to FF7 Remake, and I was just like, this isn't fun.
Like the squats in Crisis Core.
Yeah, again, it's like you're taking something that should be fun, and you've stretched it exponentially to the point where this is no longer fun. I'm no longer feeling like I'm having a fair challenge. I feel like you're taking the thing and then like just punching me in the face every time I get even a little close to it, and that's not fun, you know. So there you go. So there you go. Anyway, wow, that is quite the bloody intro to the show, and we've got an awful lot said in just 25 minutes. I'm actually astonished. We're gonna have a good show today, chat. I can tell there's some real chemistry happening here. So let me get to the supers, because of course I have to. This is probably going to take several minutes by the time I finish playing all the clips and stuff. So let's relax and enjoy, and we can talk a little bit about Doctor Who.
Seeing as how it's your birthday, maybe we should save the cake at the end of the show.
We'll save the boobas for the end. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Why not? But first of all, Sardoc Spamfish is here for £2. Says happy birthday. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. Long time supporter of the channel there, and much loved and respected audience member. So thank you. Anime Mania 500 has gifted one Will of the Fans membership. That's another bit of meat for the Griff Force. Thank you. Never met a leftist term I couldn't exploit and turn into a joke to monetize. We've got a St. Hugo member for 5 months where it says, welcome to the fine wine shelf. Yeah.
Yep.
That's nice. I kind of want to cry a little bit, but it's nice. Thank you, mate.
What's really cool is you get a couple years into it, and you're just like, you have your thoughts and your opinions on it, on things, and you're like, yeah, and I really don't even give shit if anybody else like doesn't agree with me. That's just where I'm at. I've been around long enough that I know what the fuck I'm doing. So
yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was much worse at turning 30. I was a much more vacuous person back then, and oh my god, I'm gonna be 30, and then you just don't care. By 31, I was in the Philippines, and I've been here ever since. And now I'm married, I got kids. I don't care. I forgot it was my birthday until I actually walked into my dad's bedroom earlier on, because he'd rung me about 12 times. I walked in, I was like, it's like 7 o'clock or something. It's a couple hours before the show. I was like, what's up? And he's like, happy birthday. I'm like, it's tomorrow, but thanks for reminding me. But there you go. Thank you very much, St. Hugo. Appreciate you, man. And it's DramaticaLaur's turn, of course. DramaticaLaur29, who is the unofficial and yet also somehow official mascot of the channel. Our lovely Aussie lass, or what do we call her? The Aussie autist. Because, well, I mean, that's what she claims to be. So fair enough. Says, happy birthday, Will. Congratulations on being born a really long time ago. Well, it did start with 19 and not 2000. So, yeah. That's not really very fair, but oh well, it is what it is. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. Thanks for all the great content. Thank you, dear. I appreciate you as well, very much so. You're awesome. We ripped the piss out of her a fair bit, but she is an absolute sport, so appreciate you as well. Disgusting, who is a regular on our Sunday show where we talk about mostly Doctor Who, but we'll be moving into Red Dwarf soon because we need a palate cleanser. Has gifted 5 Well Fans memberships. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate you as well.
And that is,
and we will.
I love all
Darth
of y'all.
Vader.
Listen, can I explain something to you about being a daddy?
Don't try to frighten us with your devotion.
Daddy is the breadwinner. You dig what I'm saying? And if you don't win that bread, you just don't come around.
Indeed.
If you don't win that bread, you just don't come around. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that as well. Next up, we have Hypnotic, who is
big red boy.
Hell of a guy, man.
That is a genuine red boy. I don't get a lot of them on this still quite small channel. So the significance is
not
duly noted, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hypno and I met within 6 months of me starting this channel. It was recommended to me because I was doing what I was doing and he was doing what he was doing. That was back when we were about the same size. But obviously then I was one of the first people who appeared on SNH. That was, Jesus Christ, that was like 2.5 years ago as well. And hell, the way that things have changed, the influence that some of us have managed to have on subsequent events has been incredible, and a lot of it I owe to him. So thank you sincerely, my friend, and I'll try to use it wisely.
Money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no-code names, SJW screaming, but it's money they blame, burning with envy, they're falling flat, they can't handle the sound of a super chat.
Yeah, unbelievably appreciative of the $100 from Hypno.
Chat is on fire today.
Just literally saying happy birthday, Will. Well, thank you very much, buddy. I mean, if you'd let me know when your birthday is, you know, but I guess void beings don't have birthdays or something. So there it is. I know chat's crazy today. It's fantastic.
It is awesome.
Is here again for an 8-month membership. Says, just want to say happy birthday, Will. Thank you very much. Appreciate you very much for that. And thank you for the 8 months.
All right.
Disgusting member for 3 months says, happy birthday, Will. May it only get better, man. It better. This has been a lot of shit to deal with this year, so thank you. Adam Juman, and that's another big long-time supporter of the channel. Thank you very much, Adam, for 5. Says, sorry, to use his full title, Super Saiyan God, Adam Juman, says, then you got end PlayStation fanboy money, cried to PlayStation to stop releasing games to PC because it hurts PlayStation. I know that.
Right.
It's so stupid. Look, consoles, I was a console guy all my life until 3-4 years ago when I just thought, well, my PC's pretty cool now. I have a pretty good PC. I think I can just play on this. And there's no point buying a PS5 because there's bugger all games on it. Whereas I can play anything I want on this PC. So I migrated. I still
consoles used to make sense.
By the way, I still 100% use the DS4 because it's my favorite controller, I think, ever. Apart from the Game Gear, of course. But it's at this point, consoles are irrelevant. They're just trying to become diet PCs.
Yeah,
and with
that's no good.
Firmware and DRM crap that just it's been a useless concept for more or less an entire generation at this point. So piss off. Consoles are irrelevant. Everything Cassie says, cult classic Cage, I think maybe Wizard, you probably met her on SNH. Yeah, she's right about absolutely everything she says about consoles, and it's really pathetic how some people just can't.
Yeah,
like I literally was like, well, I have all these lovely consoles, and I really love my consoles, but this makes more sense.
Yeah,
this
oddly
is the
enough,
solution.
Yeah, oddly enough, like as much as I'm kind of like over and done with Xbox as a console system, I will say this for the Series X: if you put it in developer mode, you can actually install Linux on it, and then it's actually like a decent mid-tier PC system at that point. But
that's John's personality in one sentence, by the way. Literally, so anytime he can install Linux on something, he's a happy chappy.
Right.
So there you go, and fair enough. And thank you very much, Adam Juman, for the $5. Appreciate you. We will get to topics. I'm not going to say no, though. Adam Juman for another 2 says 40 is not so bad. I have 3 years on you. Well, yeah, I'm not really bothered. I'm playing it up a bit. I honestly couldn't give a shit. I have too much to do to stop and start counting the rings on my teeth. I got shit to do. I got to carry on. And just because the date happens to have rolled over one extra day and it says that I'm 40 years old now, good, great.
Yep.
I made it. Fantastic. Yep. Let's keep the game going a bit longer, shall we? So thank you very much, Adam. $40K Empress coming to us all the way from, she's Bulgarian as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Says, happy birthday. I wish you health, love, and success. That is lovely. And, those are the 3 things. My friend has a philosophy. He's a German guy. He's one of my best friends here in the Philippines. And he likes to say, you have 3. He uses wealth rather than success, but it's basically health, wealth, and love.
Yeah.
And most people only ever manage to have 2 of these, or 1 to maximum 2 of these going well at any one time. And if you can get to 3, then that is success.
If I can play on that, like, because I, back in the doctor's office, I always told people your real wealth comes from your health and your wellness, because health is like a physical thing. Wellness is, spiritual, mental kind of thing. So you have to have those. Yeah.
I mean, we just think of it as like, I either have most me and him are like 2 out of 3 guys. I'm usually physically healthy and have either a bit of money, and I'm not currently fighting with my missus. But one of them is always currently out of whack with the other 2. So, but no, as most recently things have been going very well, and that is largely because of you guys and the chat. So thank you all for everything you guys are doing.
And 40K Empress, thank you for the compliment. I do appreciate the chin as well. So do most of the ladies. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's always, it comes in handy. It's so long. It comes in handy when he's drunk and he can't get it up.
Right. Well, I have jokingly referred to myself as a lady's bicycle seat that's been reincarnated in human form. So yeah, a lot of miles on this face.
Wizard, what did you say, man?
I'm sure they love to hear that, John. That sounds that's really great.
It sounds like the spell was working really well till you said that.
I know. It's okay. It's okay.
But fair enough, buddy. Cheers.
Yeah.
40K Emperors, we'd love to have you back on soon. Let us know. James Opp, another massive supporter of the channel and a much respected colleague and friend, great investigator as well, by the way. Says for 50, I'm gonna have to do it now, John. I can't wait anymore. We're gonna have to do the Coopers. We're gonna have to, because now we're like 50% over the goal. So
yeah. All right.
Says happy birthday, Will. I am lurking. Well, while you're lurking, turn your attention to the screen for 1 minute and goon away.
Oh no. It's happened again. Every time. You're gonna catch me in this trap. You can't get out of it.
He can't resist. He can't resist the goon trap. There it is. The gooner bait always gets him. We discovered.
It's all right.
You need to repent. That's right. We need to get Hypno's repent clip back. That was
You
good.
all need to repent.
Yeah, we all need to repent. I know. It's just that everybody started using titty videos, AI titty videos in their streams, and I was like, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
So I did. So there we go. And of course, DramaticaLaur protesting as always that we need shirtless men for the ladies. Well, DramaticaLaur, if you can amass an army of female viewers who are willing to drop the same kind of money that the men are dropping in the chat, then you will get your shirtless men.
Yeah.
Game on.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it, isn't it? Oh no, we got one more. Adam Jigman for $5. Thank you so much, buddy. Says, I have family, God, and country. But that's a military thing, of course.
Respect.
And that's what the SSG is obviously all about, Staff Sergeant, etc. And respect to anyone who's been a vet, or been a soldier and is a vet and has gone through any kind of hardship as a result of that, obviously, from any country, frankly, that supports my ideals and everything like that. And we got a lot of vets watching these channels, you know, Hypno, watching me, watching Smash JT. And we respect you all massively for what you've done. So thank you very much. Okay. Right. Where was I? Doctor Who. That's right. And it turns out that this is going to go well because Wizard actually is a fan. So that's fantastic. So have you seen anything since 2017?
Probably not. I mean, I'm caught
You
up
lucky
with
man.
like, it was done for me. I'm good. I've had enough Doctor Who. I've seen enough of the endings with the Doctor send off. It's like, my philosophy is they should have ended it after Capaldi, put it on ice for a bit, and come back in 10 years again.
Yeah,
do what they did with
Completely
because like you could have really salvaged it and you could have came back with something strong. But now, even if they put it on ice for a decade, 15, 20 years, I'm never coming back. And everyone else is in the same boat. I am burnt out on Doctor Who. And I haven't even watched it for most of the last decade.
Have you seen the ratings?
Have I seen the what?
The ratings.
Oh, the ratings. Oh, you mean the death drop?
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think almost more people have
drops
seen
on
the
this
ratings than the actual show itself at this point.
I mean, because obviously the American ratings are Disney Plus, and Disney Plus doesn't do any real noticeable or mentionable numbers. And I dived really deep into researching that shit last year because I wanted to know an approximation of the ratings. All I could say is it was doing an average of less than 80,000 a week because of the Nielsen charts and what was on there versus what wasn't on there. Disney was never on there. But the lowest thing views wise that did make the Nielsen charts regularly was doing about 80k views. Pathetic. And
That's actually,
You know,
if you're doing worse
look at
than that,
if you look at like Ninth Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the 11th Doctor, there are inklings of the ideology of the creators in those shows.
Sure.
But it was but I would also say that it was the ideology of the culture there in the UK at that time.
we
And
were
then-
following.
And then you look at it now where there's no longer a charm to it.
right.
It's no longer well written. It's not about the story. It's not about the characters. It's only about pushing a
Ideological
message.
messaging. Yep.
Message. And
That's
I'm not watching that. I'm not wasting my time. My time is precious. All your times are precious. Chat, your time is precious. Don't commit to watching anything that its only job is there to not entertain you, but to educate you.
Right.
That's
right.
not
And
that's not the goal of
yeah, and not even educate
entertainment.
you on anything like worth learning about. It's like because it's all from an opinion base. You know, it's not actually anything that's analytical or beneficial to like. You know, it's like if you want to learn how to do survivalist skills and things like that. Yeah, that's educational. Go learn that. But learning how to like sit there and be proctored and like told to be more civil and shut the fuck up if you have an idea that goes outside of the norm of what these people want. But yeah, I think
this isn't
Wizards,
education, it's discipline.
Right.
It's not. It's discipline in undiscipline. You understand what I mean? It's teaching you or forcing you to adopt a less disciplined approach through incredibly harsh messaging and propaganda, and it's everything is doing it these days. It's been going on forever. That's why a lot of these channels even exist. It's because we all sort of separately noticed these things and then went looking and found each other.
Wizard saved himself from a lot of this. Yeah, I was going to say
it was the Acolyte for me.
Yeah, isn't that when hashtag cancel Disney Plus came about? Was around then?
Oh no, it existed long before that, but it really.
Oh, I know, but I mean, like for Wizard specifically, like he's.
You know what's really funny is, so I watch heel versus babyface, and he always gets super chats from some guy that says, "For fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus." And
Great
at the end
Julio.
of the video,
Good guy.
Yeah.
I just at the end of the video, I said, "For the love of God, cancel Disney Plus," and it was a reference to that. To that super chat on Az's channel, and ever since then I'm like, you know what, no, we should cancel Disney Plus, because if you cancel Disney Plus and enough people do it, it is the Achilles heel of Hollywood. Look at the numbers. If you read into the numbers, it is the Achilles heel of Hollywood. If you cripple that, they collapse.
Right.
Any business that no longer produces the product that you are paying them to produce and expects you to shut up and just, obviously the red letter media line, just consume product and then get excited for next product, don't ask questions, etc. It's the Achilles heel is so fucking obvious. Free market means we can say no, bitch. We don't have to buy this. It's the same in the gaming industry. It's and it's happening everywhere.
And that's why capitalist customer models are far better than corporatist consumer models. It's an entire change in how you interact with
this is one of the big differences you always say, John, is like people fail to understand the difference between capitalism and corporatism, because corporatism is the actual tism that's been ruining everything, and it's not capitalist anymore. It's stakeholder capitalism, which of course is communism. So it is what it is. Regardless, Doctor Who has been an utter embarrassment for the last 7 years. And it's just got, it's been shown the door time and time and time again, and they refuse to let it die. Although at this point, I don't see much that they have a choice, because they're trying to whore it out to some other streamers at this point, but no one's biting, and I don't know why anybody would bite. It's a sinkhole. If Disney can't get it to make money, then nobody fucking can.
Yeah, it is tasty to see though. All of their normal shills have actually got to the point too where they're now even like, so let's talk about like the downfall of Doctor Who and what they can do.
It's amazing. I keep finding these videos that come up in my algorithm that are called this week exclusively. I'm talking about where it says the downfall of Doctor Who, and I click on it, and it's some leftist. Some guy who either has or would have made a hate video about me. Because like Mr. TARDIS, with this little hate campaign against me and stuff like that. I'm like, whatever you want, you fat neck bearded cunt. So they see, there you go. I told you it would happen eventually. I would drop a C-bomb. But there you go. It is what it is. And these people are now realizing that they've been tuned into the wrong radio station for decades now. And they are realizing it in real time as everything collapses around them. Like Pride is dead. No one's supporting that this year. People who are doing the protests in LA are literally getting run over now by cars. And it's like, oh shit, I really shouldn't be cheering for this, but I kind of am, and the game industry is getting felted left, right, and center. So there's one thing I wanted to talk about it particularly, which is hilarious and really shouldn't have happened. But even the BBC, which we jokingly call British Broadcasting Communists in Britain, that is exactly. It's always been a socialist company, by the way, but most media companies are left wing. But left wing has become crazy now, and they know it, and they're trying to distance themselves from it. So even the BBC is now parodying itself. I can't. I'm going to show you. It's better than it sounds. There is a brutal BBC parody of its own recent Doctor Who episodes, ridicules lazily written scripts, and Shooty Gat were regenerating into Billy Piper for clips. Quote, "It worked. It died of cringe." Okay, you won't
The
believe
damage
it.
control is strong.
Yeah, it is. There used to be a long time ago this TV show that was called Dead Ringers, which was it was like an impression show. And I think it's just radio now, but this actually happened. I think Radio 4 or something like that. I'm not sure, but anyway, doesn't really matter because here is series 26 of Dead Ringers that apparently is still going, audio only. Episode 1, Greta Trump and Oda Farage. Okay, but there is a monstrous, brutal, merciless Doctor Who parody in here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play it for you guys. And here we go.
Before all that, now on BBC One, it's time for the last in the series of Doctor Who. Yes, it's still going. I was surprised too.
That's not a good start.
Hey, Commander Stewart, what's going down, babes?
Fucking spot on, right?
Yep.
I mean, that is absolutely Gatwa's Doctor. What's going? It's weird. I don't know how someone's managed to do the hybrid African Scottish accent that he's got. I don't know how they've done it, but whoever that is a genius.
Stewart, what's going down, babes?
Doctor, thank God you're here. There's a CGI monster from another dimension destroying the whole of London again.
Plenty of time for that. Give me a hug.
Hug?
Sure, I've got to hug everybody in this room because that's the kind of woke, touchy-feely doctor I am now. Can't leave any minority behind. Okay, wheelchair-bound lady, give me a hug. Ethnic man, here comes a hug. Trans person, it's hugging time. Gay robot, you is in for one heck of a hug. Show me the lovin'.
No way, dude.
I know,
This is so
right?
good. This is so
They're
on
eating
point.
their own.
Savage. Give me the lovin' is literally a line he says in the show when he opens the TARDIS at the end of the last series, 14 or 114 or 40, depending on your mileage. And then immediately what happens is this 6'5" Tranoid runs over and gives him a big hug, who's supposed to be 15 years old, by the way, which is a crime in the UK. And he lifts it up and spins them around and puts them down. And you get this long shot where you can clearly see that the tranny is 8 inches taller than the Doctor.
Yeah. Old Jason the Thorny Rose.
Yeah, Jason Rose Noble. You watch the David Tennant stuff then, right, Wizard?
Absolutely. Yeah, I watched
So
all of it.
did you know that did you know that Donna Noble now has a transgender son daughter called Rose?
I watched that episode, the first one with the Meep, the first of the Tenet episodes, just to see if it was going to be
bi-ethnic, transsexual.
You know what it is? I go into things thinking hey, the internet hates it, but let me watch it on my own, going blind and just try to see if I can find some value in here because I have no problem being contrarian to everybody. Look at my Switch
That's
videos.
Fine.
Right.
Look at my Nintendo videos.
I'm with you on the Switch,
but I walked out of that. I'm like, I'm never watching this show ever again.
Right.
I'm done. That's it.
Yeah. That was it for a lot of people too. That was the moment I decided that I was you're not going to appreciate this much, but I decided that was the exact moment when I was going to subscribe to Disney Plus in the Philippines, by the way. So it's $3, and I was then going to use that to do immediate
cover every episode
after they've aired. Right after they've aired, I'm gonna do as close to right after they've aired, I'm going to do a full review of every episode with the express intention of stopping everybody else from paying for Disney Plus. So I figured it's worth the trade-off. And
I always say that's the one thing, because there are people in our comment sections that complain oh, but there's content creators streaming this, there's content creators watching this. It's no, wait a second. The content creators that you actually trust who have integrity are the first line of defense to your wallets.
Right.
So
they're
we put the money
doing-
up. It's a business expense.
Yeah.
But we are looking out for you. You get to see what we do. You get to see our gameplay. You get to see our commentary in real time. And it might save you some money in a time where all the prices are going up on everything. So
it's reconnaissance work, you know? You're behind enemy lines.
I mean, I may not like that people are buying Switch 2s, but I'd rather that content be covered, because otherwise people will buy it out of curiosity.
Yeah, it's like you said in one of your videos. It's like the parents will buy it out of lack of knowledge, just like what happened with people's grandmothers and the Wii, and 6 million shovelware games coming out for that system because they knew Muppets would buy them. So yeah, we don't want to see that happen again. So you need someone who's actually bloody informed, who's actually seen it. And for me, I figure $3 a month on one Disney Plus subscription to stop what has turned out to be 4,000 or 5,000 people from actually bothering to subscribe to Disney Plus. It's not only do I make it back in a minute, like the first super chat pays for my Disney Plus subscription, but this is $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 that I'm denying Disney by doing it.
Monthly.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, let's carry on with the silliness. It's very funny.
I warned you. The CGI monster's broken in.
And here's what you have to do to beat it, Kate, babes. Simply tell me that I'm wonderful and how I'm the most amazing person in the universe.
This is so accurate.
It's
so
spot on.
accurate. It's literally how every episode fucking goes now. It's just tell everyone how great they are and everything will be all right. It's cringe. All right.
Do you think lazily written mawkishness is really going to scare me?
Let's see, monster babes. Kate?
You lift everyone up by your example, Doctor.
No, stop! It's even got down the fact that the bad guys in the last season were all basically just us.
Yep.
Like if you didn't watch the last series, Wizard, every episode apart from one had some ridiculously mean-spirited reference to the haters, basically the people who are doing what we're doing. They even included hashtag RIP Doctor Who in an episode of Doctor Who, which killed the diegesis entirely.
They literally climbed out of a TV at one point that had a Doctor Who logo on it.
You know, when people criticize what I do, when people and I look at it and I have to, and this is what most people that are not self-aware, they can't do this. If you're self-aware enough, you look at the hate, you look at the comments you get, you have to look at it and say, does this person have a point, or are they just a hating to hate?
Right. Yeah.
Everybody that's complaining about Doctor Who loves Doctor Who.
Right.
And if I was seeing the hatred, if I see hate on my videos, and sometimes I do, where people are like, hey, I watch you all the time. This isn't your best work. You could have articulated this one a little bit better. You know what I say?
wouldn't even call that hate. I would call that
that's
criticism.
just it. But that's exactly what we do.
Right.
We're like, hey, we really don't like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
The last thing that I want to do is insult those people.
Yeah,
The
I'm not
last
going
thing
to
that I
insult
want to
someone
do
who approaches me like
is
that.
tell those people that we hate you when they're pointing out extraordinarily valid criticism. It's like something that we learn in business, because I'm a business owner and all that stuff. But something in business is you listen to the people that give you criticism. You listen to your haters as well, because you learn from them.
Right.
You take in all that information. It makes you better. If I was Russell T Davies, my goal would have been, this has to be better than 9, 10, and 11.
Right.
This has to be I'm going into this, whether I succeed or fail, I want to make the best Doctor Who I've ever done that'll be timeless.
Right.
And I want it to be timeless. And he has not succeeded.
His definition of better is woker. So
and that's a sad thing about it all, is like they call it like, it's like, oh, it's fan hating. It's like, yeah, it is fan hating from the production end, because you're not actually taking the time to take criticism, because if you don't have anything nice to say, well, then you're not going to be allowed to say it. And you see them doing it on Rotten Tomatoes now. Amazon does it. All these kind of things, that all your reviews have to be glowing or at most neutral. And if you say anything that they find to be, out of line with what they're going to put in their terms of service, then they'll just take away your ability to write reviews or do anything like that. And so it's all just performative so that they can inflate an idea that people actually are behind these things and give false ratings.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between, obviously, we all know this. I think our audience all know this. We don't need to linger on it too long, but there's a wild departure from hate with just criticizing something that you used to love and you're a lapsed fan because it has let you down. So you're turning around and you're saying, this is trash. What are you doing?
Right.
This is absolute garbage. This is not what it's supposed to be. It's not what it was set out to be. It's not what the original creators wanted. You're literally selling this whole thing down the river, and our fandom has become impossible because of you. And then they're like, oh, you're a bigot, you're a hater. So that's hate, right? Just blindly raging at someone for no fucking good reason is the hate. And it's actually coming from them, not from us. We're the ones going, do you not see how this is complete trash compared? Well, but it's promoting progressive values. Yeah, progressive values. Yeah, okay, progressing further and further into the ditch.
The only thing that's been progressed is the multiculturalism of legitimate forms of fascism.
Yeah. All right, let's finish it then. Anyway, we've still got a little bit more.
I can't take the hallmark card straightness of your empty platitudes.
It's work.
I can't stand the hallmark triteness of your empty platitudes. Mwah! I love it.
King, the power
That's
of
a banger
unearned
line.
sentimentality in the script is poison to it. More!
Wait. You may not have a family, Doctor, but we humans are all your children. Because, Doctor, it's not the family you're born into which matters.
Oh, of course.
It's the one you find along the way.
Dies of cringe.
Worked. It just died of cringe.
Call it. Yep.
I'm up to regenerate into Billy Piper for clicks.
I just don't know that anyone could have done a better absolute savage burn of the entire show. And the fact that this has come from the BBC.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, they must have one or two producers around in the BBC. I know how the BBC works.
They haven't been able to get rid of because they're utilitarian necessary nuisance.
I'm sure people like Paul Jackson and stuff are still working there. That's the guy who convinced them to make Red Dwarf, for example. If he hasn't retired yet, then he's definitely not up for this kind of crap, you know. And I don't. But that is glorious. That is just spanking of the entire thing. It I couldn't have done a better job myself, and I have tried, you know. To boil it down to, you know, the most raw criticism I could possibly give, but they just did that in 2 minutes. They just absolutely destroyed everything about Doctor Who that has ruined it. It died of cringe, you know. You empathize with the monster when it goes, no, please, I can't. That's me. I'm the one. I've done that on live streams, reading and showing screenshots of the episodes to people in my reviews, and I'm like, oh God, no, please. I mean, I'm gonna have to play the spider clip, right?
Right.
I'm gonna have to play the fucking spider clip, because this is like me just losing my mind at some
in real time. It was wonderful.
Crash. Yeah, here you go. Hold on. Of course, this little barbershop is actually on the back of a giant armored space spider roaming through space or something, on a web of something, made of something, doing something for some reason that we'll never really understand, because the writing in this episode falls apart almost from this point to the end. So they're on the back of the giant galactic story-powered spider engine. Cuckoo! Hello, this is Sanity. Can you hear me over there in La La Land, in Goo Goo Gaga world of absolute mumbo-jumbo nonsense bullshit? Have you had enough fun riding the mysterious space spider robot, on the back of which is a fucking barbershop, an African barbershop from a ghetto in Lagos? I thought he jumped the shark last week. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me with this? You fucking what? What more was there to do? You know. So there you go. So yeah, what do we think? What do we think about Doctor Who getting roasted by the BBC? Pretty incredible, right?
It makes me think Doctor Who is done. That it really is done.
I think so.
I don't see it. I don't see how they come back from that. I mean, maybe we'll get a special or something with. I foresee my prediction here, and I don't really have a crystal ball because I'm a fake wizard. Is we're gonna get a special with Billie Piper, and it's gonna end with her probably with David Tennant, probably with some other legacy character. It's gonna be a legacy send-off thing, and there's gonna be regeneration at the end of that. But it's gonna like fade out. It's gonna overpower the screen, like blind the screen out, and it'll go to credits. And we're not gonna know who it is. It'll be like it'll end with something like, you know, the Doctor's adventures never end, and they'll try to start like a Save Doctor Who campaign with that. Oof. But it's not gonna fly because no one's gonna buy it.
It's gonna be like Save the Acolyte.
It's going to be like Save the Acolyte, but it's going to be this big, like, oh my gosh, we're doing it again. We got David Tennant back again and Billie Piper back together. And they're both the Doctor this time. And she's the embodiment of the memories that he has of Rose. And it's going to be complete cringe. But it's going to end on the 6 seasons and a movie of Community, kind of get the fans to try to campaign to bring it back, which never really works. But they're going to try to bring back everybody's legacy to try to spike those ratings. They're going to spike the views, but it's all baloney.
And I'm there with you on the main series having that kind of be the thing that happens. But they are hedging their bets. They're making an animated series that's focused, targeted directly at kids. It's going to be ideological messaging. They're going to try to.
No one's going to watch it. It'll be like that Star Wars show, The Adventures of the Jedi. No one's watching this.
Oh yeah, no.
The toys go to bargain bin all the time.
This is slightly different. This is for CBeebies, which is the baby BBC channel.
Right. So they're going to try to cultivate a generation of ideologically based Doctor Who fans.
I still think people aren't going to see it. People aren't going to watch it.
I certainly hope you're right. I
I'm never going to. I mean, I don't live in a country where I can get it, so I'm not going to go out of my fucking way.
Oh,
but I think even the people in
somehow.
If there's interest, I'm sort of like leaning on the retirement button from Doctor Who at this point. And,
I think you should.
And I want to get the fuck away from it now because I've had enough. But if it comes back, I am honor bound to continue reviewing.
When it does finally rear its ugly head, I will take a trip to Switzerland, and I will appropriate at least the first episode.
If you could just go to the certain very, very high up mountainous region where there's a small town, you know, who sounds a lot like the creator of the Daleks, and just go there and do something. I'm not going to say what, but the result should be that place doesn't exist anymore. That would be glorious. All right, that's enough about Doctor Who. Let's talk, because obviously we don't know exactly how long we've still got Mr. Wizard for, so we need to get into the gaming shit because, everything takes too long on the show. I should have warned you. Sorry, buddy.
No, but it's for good reason, because it's good discussion. So it's all worth it. It's all good stuff.
All right, man. Great. And you're welcome back anytime anyway to continue chasing this fucking gaming rabbit until the cows come home. So we have a lot of stuff that's been going on. We've got and there's just like there's no particular topic here, so it's just everything. It's just the state of gaming.
Yeah,
and I have everything from the announcement of the ROG Xbox Ally, which is on screen in a second. There you go. This has been announced. Do you have any thoughts on this? Like, I'm not sure how to take this quite now.
It's very specific that they didn't give a price point on this. That they announced it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we still don't have a. I was away, so I didn't see it yet.
That people have approximated about $800.
$800 USD.
Yeah,
minimum
with tax.
So here's the thing: we got 2 models, which means it's going to be $800 for the lower model, ideally. I'm willing to bet the second model cranks up to over $1,000 US.
Right. Well, I believe so. The lower end model is based off their current ROG Ally hardware. It's just going to have the OS integration, but it is not, because I watched LTT. They had they got early access to it, and so they kind of got into some of those things. So yeah, it's looking at around 800 minimum, but if they could find a way to charge more, which means this thing actually costs more than a proper Xbox. So when you wonder what is the next Xbox, it's a brand label on someone else's hardware. That's Xbox going forward, and it is likely to be close to a grand.
I've got the Rogue Ally here. Like I bought this December of 23, and like it's fine, but I spent $600 US on this,
right? And
it's blown out twice,
right?
Like it's because okay. So here's the thing that they don't tell you, and I didn't really know what I was getting, and I've discussed this, and people are like, well, it's a skill issue. It's like, well, that's fine. This is a computer.
Right.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
like, it's a full Windows computer. These are portable computers.
Yep,
great, love it. That's fine.
Yeah,
which means that it's very easy to screw up if you don't know what you're doing.
Yes,
if you install the wrong shit. So
you know what you should install on there?
The what?
Linux. I say, you know, you should install on there. You should get Linux.
Dude, I got this because I wanted to play retro games.
Yeah, install Linux.
I just wanted to play retro games on it.
Oh, right. Well, that works great for that.
You can build an emulation machine for less money than it costs to buy one of these.
Yeah,
and just play.
I just think, like, as far as Xbox is concerned, because I love Gears of War. Gears of War is in my top 10 of favorite franchises. It's the only game that I'm legitimately good at that at a time I could have gone pro in.
Right.
Everything else I'm not great at. But the last thing that
for me that was Mario Kart at one point, but not anymore. I'm rusty as fuck.
Well, same thing with Mario Kart. It's like, well, if I'm going to play these games, I'm going to play them for real, like hardcore. I don't want to do it on this. I bought this to be casual with my gaming. Like I bought this because I wanted to play old retro games again, and those emulators really didn't work too well on here, and like I couldn't.
I ended up installing PSX EPSXE on my phone. And bought a bolt-on controller thing to clip onto the sides of it, and that worked really well. I was running through Wild Arms last year. I was having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, Wizard. If you are primarily wanting to use it for the emulation, seriously, like get a version of Linux, Arch-based, which is what SteamOS is. And then just put Proton on there, and you're good to go.
For the chat here that may have, because you guys in chat, you might be thinking like, hey, I thought of doing the same thing. I thought of getting perhaps a Rogue Ally to play, retro games
PS2,
on.
Yeah.
Guys, there are apps now like on cell phones. Like one of them is called Gamma. Gamma can run PlayStation 1 games. Maniac, EMU can run 3DS games. Delta can run Game Boy Advance, DS, N64. These are all the backups of the games that I own and I have hard copies of, right? And it's like I could play them on my phone.
Oh yeah, we certainly would never emulate. We would never emulate a game that we don't legally own. Nintendo, okay, of course not.
Right,
of course
not. Yes, you always have the physical copies of the games you emulate, and so there was no need for this. I think the price point is too high. That's really where I'm getting to. The price point is too high for people that already can buy a Steam Deck. People that already have something like this. Why would I buy another one and spend $800 on it?
Right.
You know,
and to your point about these things,
it's convenient. The convenience goes out the window when the price is prohibitive.
This is a flawed system, and I'll tell you why. So, firstly, the thing overheats. It's got a super low battery, but also the port here. So, on this particular model, this is the 2023 model. I can't put a micro SD card in here. I can't crank up the storage because it will melt the chip because it gets so hot. So that's a problem with this particular model that they just I don't maybe have they fixed in the
really
future.
bad planning.
The only way
I don't
that
know
I
if they've
could
changed the slot spot on it yet, but yeah, no, it's right next to the heat
they
pipe.
have,
It's terrible.
I haven't looked into it enough. But the only way for me to modify this now is I would have to strip it apart and mod it and put mod chips into it to increase the RAM on it and increase the memory storage, which I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
So
I will say that is one of the biggest difference between something like that and the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck's got its SSD card slot on the bottom, far away from the actual components. It's over by, the battery area. So yeah, it doesn't have to deal with all that heat.
The thing you get with the Rogue Ally is you're supposed to get processor power. So it's supposed to be significantly stronger than a Steam Deck as far as processor is concerned, but it will cost like literally $800. It's not worth it.
Right. And to what you were saying about people having phones that they can get a lot of emulation through these days. Seriously, you can, even for a high-end premium backbone controller or something to that, kind of orientation. I've got one over here on my bed, but it's right out of reach. But yeah, just get a backbone controller and just use your phone for a lot of things. Like
backbone controller. That's what the thing is. The term I was trying to think of. The bolt-on
and there's
thing,
cheaper ones too.
Oh yeah,
I got them on Amazon, and they're like you can get a controller for your phone for just a couple bucks. So like
I think GameSir's a really good one if you want something that's nice and kind of like fits in your hands, kind of like an Xbox controller style or something like that.
A little bit ergonomic, yeah. But yeah, so obviously we're not impressed with this. I was sort of kind of interested in it as a shake-up of the industry, but it's proven to be just more of the same kind of exorbitant pricing, trying to push Game Pass onto everyone. And I think if you make it handheld, there's almost a certain diminishment of prestige that comes with that in the minds of the customers. So you go, well, you can use it to rent games and stream them or whatever on your handheld, and you don't need to worry about, all that premium at-home console docking shit. And everyone will, oh yeah, well, I suppose it's all right if I just get Game Pass on this handheld. And it's another way to get Game Pass into people's heads,
And that's the thing, is I think they almost do the marketing backwards, where you almost actually have to go and market it as a at-home system that's on the go with you, so you don't have to buy mobile versions of the game that you already have.
Yeah, which is not what they've done with this.
So I want to just real briefly to talk about like the marketing strategy behind this. Like Xbox's function has truly, and we started getting into this in the pre-show, like before we went live. The entire point of this is to give people every possible avenue to Game Pass.
Yep.
Yes.
Game Pass.
Absolutely.
Own nothing.
I would not be surprised if we find out that Sony and Microsoft cut a deal to get Game Pass on PlayStation. Like, that wouldn't surprise me. Is it gonna happen? I don't think so, but it could.
I think they kind of have to at this point in time, because when you look at the situation, I mean, Nintendo's always going to be what Nintendo's doing, but if they don't. Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, like, going forward, because I've mentioned this before, is at the next few years of the gaming, the state of gaming, Sony's going to have to sit in the cuck chair and watch everybody else have all the.
I don't think so.
They've become irrelevant to some extent.
Yeah. I think, and I'm not a Sony fanboy by any means. It's just a matter of, for a long time, I thought Xbox was on the outs. I thought Xbox was like kind of cooked. I thought they were done. And then they had that showcase. And I'm like, wait a second, they've been planning this shit the entire time.
It's the long con,
Sony's made a lot of mistakes, and we hold them to their concord, but they're not stupid. They've just made errors. There is no way that they're just taking this on the chin. There's no way.
You are correct in that. They did try to correct some of those errors recently. They just made 4 of the titles that they have available through Steam available in all the countries without the PlayStation EULA bullshit. The best among them that is beneficial for is Helldivers 2. But they've got a lot of retooling to put into play to get themselves to a state that that they can actually be viable, I think, going forward, because they are selling better. Like we'll get into it later, but Stellar Blade's selling better on PC than it ever did for the PS5.
Yeah, it's doing amazing.
And that's a massive point. That's a massive point. So, but Xbox, just everybody needs to understand, Xbox only cares about Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We now know
everything's an Xbox
because some dummy, because those numbers are super hidden. Those numbers are super private. We know because somebody that works at Microsoft put the information in their LinkedIn profile that Game Pass has an estimated 35 million subscribers.
Right.
Okay. That's a lot of people. If you multiply
Holy
the math
shit.
out, that's a shitload of money. I have the
Yeah.
graphic here, Will. I can send it to you later.
Yeah, if it's
It was
35
actually,
million, 10
it was actually
10 bucks a
Atreus
month.
who like posted it. I got it from
Yeah.
Atreus.
Jesus.
So,
but yeah, if it's 35 million monthly payments,
35 million
that's
on the
350.
like
Oof.
probably
Yeah.
up there around.
Welcome,
35
Rhoda,
million
by
on
the
Game
way.
Pass.
Welcome
Hey,
to
how
our
you doing?
regular thread. Yeah, we're good. We're neat. We're deep in the discussion of the end of the video game industry as we know it with real life fake wizards. So jump in.
Okay, well, hello, real life fake wizard. Nice to meet you. Sorry, my
Hello.
voice is going a bit today.
It's all right. Mine's always
Greetings.
going. Carry on, boys.
Indeed. Yeah, you were making a point, Wizard.
Yeah, and Xbox doesn't care about you buying $80 games. They don't care. They're going to crank everything up that they possibly can to $80. Why? Well, the same reason that they're not putting discs in physical boxes anymore. It's the same reason Nintendo is doing game key cards. It's the same reason that even if you do buy a disc and you put it in the system, it needs to do an additional $80, 80 gigabyte installation that wasn't on the disc to begin with. Incentivizing everybody to move to Game Pass. Oh, well, everything's cheaper on Game Pass, just $20 a month until it's not and the price goes up. The price is going to go up, by the way. To match $80, and you're still going to give it away. You're still going to say, well, $30 is still better than $80, and I get all these games in this catalog. Expedition 33 is on Game Pass. That's one of the best games of all time. Xbox got that.
Right.
And that's it. They take away your voice when we are all herded into the Game Pass. Because right now, we could still say Assassin's Creed Shadows bombed because it only had 3 million engaged. We know that that's baloney for as far as success. We know that that game did not break even. But when we're all pooled into the Game Pass model, then they have masterful control of the marketplace. And your voice, my voice, our voices mean nothing in the zeitgeist. They can make and publish whatever games they want and then feed us whatever information they want, even if it's fraudulent.
And also retroactively make changes to said game if some, militant group goes and complains about something, and they'll go and they'll just like edit it out, and you'll never be able to actually have that original version.
They won't, but they won't have to do that anymore at all.
Right, because it's all centrally.
Exactly.
Right,
but you're absolutely right, and this is one of the things that really was what attracted me to Wizard's channel in the first place. Was he had taken the logical train all the way to the last fucking final station where it is literally, hey, you have two choices, you fucking absolute pieces of shit gamer, customer, consumer pigs that we don't care about. Either pay $200 for a video game, or you can just play it for almost nothing on Game Pass.
Right, and you're exactly right when you say when you say $200, because that's the thing that I always try to get across to people when they want to go and carry water for Grand Theft Auto 6. $100 barrier price of entry, $100 a year to have GTA Plus service, and
I hope it's $300 retail. I hope it is.
Right.
I hope it is.
Might as well be. Yeah, because I think they would only. I think only at that price would you actually get people looking at it objectively, but there will still be the fanboys of GTA being like, "Oh, this is all I ever wanted. It's a it's a new map."
What's the matter? Are you poor or something?
Right. Yeah.
Brokies.
Yeah, it's appalling that they've done this. It's so absolutely flagrant as well, and they just don't care. They seem to think they don't have to care. The only way, and I mean the only way, that you as a customer, and I refuse to use the word consumer because I don't like it. I think it reduces us to livestock.
Right.
Well, that's how they reduce
to be
you.
slaughtered. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So the only way as a customer that you can fight back against this is just don't fucking buy it. We have enough games. I have a backlog of about 150 games right now, plus all the games I would be very happy to just go back and play again.
I have a philosophy on that real quick. Do you know why we all have backlogs?
Because the
games aren't good enough anymore. The games aren't good enough to play when we have them, that now we have backlogs of games. I have PS4 games that are still in the plastic I haven't even taken out.
Yeah. I would have those if I didn't sell all my stuff off. But to that point that you had made, though, if that 35 million customer a month figure is correct, That's $350 million every month. So we're talking about $4 billion a year that they're already making on Game Pass. And people
Guys, Microsoft is the richest company in the world by market cap.
They are, yeah.
We
in
need
the
to start
trillions.
saying that more often because too many people are like, Game Pass is a bargain.
It's the
Faustian
richest
bargain.
company in the world. Yeah,
It's the richest company in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your
Xbox is
video.
not your friend.
I saw you because you did a video where you didn't, or you were either in kayfabe or whatever, but you were like, "Is it really the richest? Holy shit! It's the richest company in the world. It's the richest company in the world."
Yep, and they use that influence to spin off to control media in all various forms.
Exactly.
Game Pass is a deal. Guys, there are people in penthouses that want you to think that. This is when we were on Saturday Night Hypnosis. So what I was saying to Leon, like, you're dropping all of the points that the corporations want you to say. They want you to run defense. Like, I understand
We
you,
love Leon,
and
but
you
he has a
understand
habit
what I'm
of doing
saying.
that.
Yeah,
It's-
Leon tends to get led
You
by his
can't
nose.
give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. I said this on my stream yesterday. It's like, people still have hope that Disney's going to get better. Nintendo's going to get better. Microsoft's going to get better. Doctor Who's going to get better. No, it's not. It's not coming back. It's
And
over.
it's certainly not going to
done.
get better if you go along with what the corpos are doing to make it worse.
It's time to fight back, and that means stop giving them your money.
Yep.
We need to discuss where's the line for people, like at what point are you done? At what point are you activated to care? Maybe it's not Mario Kart. Maybe it's not Donkey Kong. Maybe it is at Pokemon that they sold us for 2 years. They had a complete version of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and they didn't give it to us to incentivize the Switch 2. Maybe it's the fact they had the GameCube emulator ready to go on the Switch 1, but they held it and put it exclusively on the Switch 2. At what point is there the wake-up call of we're being taken advantage of?
Right, and to your point, Wizard, like
pure exploitation.
Yeah, the way that I generally try to get it across to people, at least in a visceral way, is it's like, all right, so say you date a girl and but you're not really like, like exclusive, and you find out like she fucked around with some guy, whatever, one time, and you're kind of like, oh, I can forgive this, I suppose. We weren't exclusive, we weren't really even like calling each other. But when you find out like someone that you've been married to is basically like, got like a side life where they're doing like bukkake porn or some shit like that, and like they're just getting railed left and right.
John, where are you going?
No, well, I'm just saying, it's like if you
I was
at that
starting to
point,
wonder that myself. It's like
right.
John, where you going?
But the point I'm getting at is if someone has that much of like, a disconnect from you, why would you go along with them? Why would you take? I legitimately earned it this time. But the point I'm getting at is
I was trying to save you, man, before you.
I know, it's all right.
Something you don't want to.
Right. But the point I'm getting at though is, go ahead.
Wait.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm getting called emergency. I gotta
worries.
announce.
Yeah.
I'm super
it's
sorry,
been great.
guys. I thought I had more time.
That's fine. If you want to come back and we can finish this another time, let me know, man. It's been a blast. I've really
Would love to be back on. Just let me know.
I will, man. We can do it on Thursday if you like. We do the show again. We can carry this on.
We'll be in
Awesome.
touch.
All right, you go
definitely.
handle your business. Guys, Real Life Fake Wizard, go subscribe, go check out his content. I think it's fucking awesome. So thank you very
guys.
much.
Yeah.
All right. And I
Godspeed.
think I've just lost my sound connection to the stream. So John, vamp for me for a second as I jump out.
I didn't fully lose the plot. I just kind of got to like the part where I want it to seem as terrible as it actually is. Because what I'm actually saying is when you've had like this kind of complete disconnect, and these corporations, they want you to be married to them. They want you to be so just, beholden and devoted to them that they could do something that, just out there and completely beyond reproach, but yet you'll still be forgiving enough to say, you know what? I think it'll get better. It'll change. They told me it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But it's never going to get any better than that. Your thoughts on Roto?
It goes, I think it goes further than that. I think they're trying to weaponize their fan bases, if you like. Right. When we have like people turning around and saying, oh, Doctor Who's no good anymore, oh, this game's no good anymore, this game's going to be crap, and then like the fans of those companies and studios and shows, or like the kind of nutty fans, just start, anyone who criticizes it go, absolutely full blast at the people doing the criticism, as we've seen ourselves quite frequently.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that the companies are fostering that kind of lunacy on purpose.
Right.
That's what I mean by weaponizing the fan base.
Oh yeah, and the point that I'm talking about though are those people that are still in that camp of, oh, just give it time, it'll get better. You know, like I trust that they're going to make a change because they see what's going on with it. And it's no, now is the time to draw the line in the sand and say you're over and done with it. You know, that's why we support independence. We support AA titles and like all the stuff that's done for corporatist means. If you go along with it, you carry their If you carry the corporate water,
I think
you're good. No, you're good. But yeah, if you carry the corporate water, you know, then at that point in time, you have no one to blame but yourself when it is this flagrant, when it's this in your face. You know, and that's why I said you find out, you know, this person that you're involved with to that level, you've made such a commitment, is so just disconnected from you. So when you sit here and say, I love Doctor Who, I love all these things, I love Sony, I'm not going to give up on these things. They gave up on you so fucking long ago. They have no respect for you. And to continue to go down that's what puts you in the cuck chair and just watches them do all the shit right in front of you. And you just have to like sit there and just deal with it.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Rhoda.
Like it's like you've gotten to the point in that situation where you're enabling an abuser. It's I mean that's the starkest parallel I think I can draw. You know, if you're letting
all
it
right,
happen,
let me work on my volume.
You're part of the problem. Yeah, you did shoot up a bit there.
Yeah.
You went from a little bit quiet to a little bit loud.
Yeah, let me see what I can do about that.
Yeah.
All right. Is this better? Is this better?
Yeah.
That's all right. Fine. Cool. Sorry, everyone. So AI control on my audio settings, and Will does a little bit of dialing in when I come into the show, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, no, like this situation that's going on with the game industry, you know, it's as bad as it gets at this point. And that's where it really is, you know, right now. If you are still just doing whatever you can to assume the best about these things, about these corporations and all this kind of stuff, you know, if you're somebody who watches this show, obviously I don't think that you'd be in that camp, but there's someone that you know, that you just have like the hardest time actually talking to because they're so willing to rationalize for these companies, and you try to go and look at things from an objective standpoint, and they're like, well, yeah, but what do you really know about it? It's like, I know when I'm getting fucked over, you know, don't you?
Yeah, I've got that exact situation. There's a really, really good guy at work, like really, really nice guy, and he's a great worker as well. Everybody loves him to bits, but he's a massive Star Wars fan, and I warned him that like the last couple of Star Wars series are going to be shite, and he said, yes, I know, but I love Star Wars, so I'll get them on Blu-ray anyway.
Right.
And I just like, what?
Yeah, and it's like, all right,
how do I
fine.
communicate with that? How do I communicate with that?
Right. And to the people that are like that, when they say things, it's like, if you really want to see it, you really want to get it, let me know. I'll get a hold of it for you, and you won't have to pay a single thing. You know, and they're like, what? I'm like, look, I understand that like you have this wanton desire for something, but that wanton desire is not actually going to even be the interest that it's being played to. What you're being sold are, basically most IPs, and that's the way they refer to these things. You know, the franchises are intellectual properties. They're playing off the most potent drug of life, which is nostalgia. And they want you to go along with the idea that these things that you're familiar with and dedicated to, are actually going to ring true. But these are hedge fund companies that own properties. And, it's all this is just about curating the culture to get people to just go along with it. And that's why I mentioned earlier, on these review sites, now they have these policies in place that if you say anything that they find to be too derogatory or too out of line, they'll just remove you from being able to. We hear you fine. They'll remove you from being able to actually make any future reviews because they ultimately want you to bend the knee and just not fall out of line.
Hey guys, right. Can we do a quick sound check?
Yeah, you're good.
Because John, you're peaking.
Yeah,
massively.
yeah.
is like really
No worries.
distorted now. But you're
No
also,
worries.
to me, for whatever reason, super duper quiet, and I don't understand why.
Weird.
John's loud here. You sound absolutely fine, Will.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I
How
just
do I
want to make
sound?
sure, chat, you sound good to me, but a minute ago, everything was too quiet. I fixed that my end. I just
All
want
right.
to double check.
Check,
that
check.
The chat's happy with
Is this better?
everybody's levels as we continue.
Yeah.
By the way, absolute massive shout out to Real Life Fake Wizard. That was
Indeed.
That was some pure fire.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I gotta say, it's really great having guests on, and every now and then, like me, I feel like I could talk to him forever.
Oh yeah. Wizard.
Yeah,
and,
I was listening while I was getting everything set up. He sounds really cool.
Yeah,
Wizard and King Spirit Trucker and I months ago we had a conversation that was basically this, right? And unfortunately, with the deplatforming,
doesn't hold back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, with the deplatforming, that's one of the things that is now utterly gone from the internet, and I think that was
He
this
doesn't have a
today.
Rumble?
No, he does, but we did it on Ryan's channel, right? And so when he got deplatformed, we, the three of us had a conversation one day, yeah, and so unfortunately there was never an archive of that conversation that was made. So today was really awesome to kind of revisit some of this again.
Yeah. Well, I will try and get him back on as soon as possible. I don't know if he can make Thursday. I'll talk to him about it. Would love to get him on as often as possible. He's fucking awesome. His takes are pretty much 1-to-1 with mine, which is, my bias. But there you go. I also think it was.
And the cool thing about Wizard too is since he actually does work in marketing. I mean, I usually hate most anyone in marketing, but he's kind of like the Penn and Teller of marketing, where it's like he knows the magic and he's willing to tell you. And so like that's why he is indeed a wizard, because he's enlightening you. He's not trying to enchant you.
I used to work in sales and I fucking detested it. It broke my spirit quite soundly, because I had to lie to old ladies on almost a daily basis. And that was one of the major factors in me leaving entirely and coming to the Philippines in the first place, along with many other reasons that I can probably go into one day, but it is not this day. Today is almost my birthday, and I have some more super chats I want to read out from the lovely folks in the chat. And just try and check out where we were last. I think the last one was Juneman, and the next one is Juneman too. He says, well, like PBS and NPR, ain't nobody gonna fund Dr. Screw. Yes. Rhoda, did you hear the earlier part of the show when we played that Dead Ringers parody of?
I heard the last minute and a half of it.
Okay,
it's on point AF, right?
And it was.
Yeah, I'm probably going to cover it again.
I was literally laughing while I was setting my shit up here.
Not surprised. Not surprised at all. I probably won't do hyperdrive time in the morning because it's my birthday, and I think I probably deserve a lie-in. Also, again, apologies to everybody who was waiting for the show this morning. I was literally sitting right here, but I was asleep. That's how much I've been burning the candle at both ends recently with everything I've got to do. So
and
apologies.
Will, I know you mentioned possibly doing some gaming tomorrow for your birthday. If you want to do some multiplayer stuff, let me know.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, we should work a way to do that. Yeah, we should play some Broforce or something. Well, I guess we'll have to use Discord. There's a lot I'll have to set up that I've never done before, but I'm sure it's all very possible. Let me see what I can do. In the meantime, it is, of course, the preamble to my birthday. So thank you very much to everybody in the chat. And thank you, Adam Juneman. He's got it dead right. PBS and NPR are basically the same as BBC, but in America, except that they don't have the stranglehold that the BBC has over the UK. So, yeah, it's they're irrelevant as far as I can tell in America, whereas BBC has spent a very long time, like fucking near 100 years at this point, just convincing people that they are the one true media and that's all. And there's an entire generation of Britons who still treat them like they are the one true media. And unfortunately, they're being lied to, which I think is one of the reasons why it's been so bloody easy for woke leftism to get in the UK, where it failed in the US.
Well, I think I think that globally, because when I talk, I always tell people it's the deep state spelt DEIP, right? The DEI deep state. Right? The DEI deep state began through covert means, and it built itself up over the last 10,
100
15
years. 100.
Yeah, yes, 100 years through various forms. But when we look at it, like
the Frankfurt School began after World War One.
Right.
It didn't make it to America until after World War Two.
Right.
And has been subverting Western culture ever since.
Right. And so, it's like when we look at all the stuff that's happened over the course of going on about 2-ish years now, that people have really been like, oh, we can't have this in gaming. Where did this come from? And this is the overt kind of messaging that they do, because they were able to covertly get themselves into the system to begin with. And so, when we talk about like all these channels now that are getting deplatformed, like one channel a week, it seems, or they're getting at least demonetized or some kind of chicanery, it's because, they're constant rake steppers. And in the court of public opinion, they keep coming up losing. And so now they're just falling back to those covert methods and means to, try to do the work that they couldn't do facing us headlong. And so they're just sniping us via robots.
Seriously, I seriously need to do a Sideshow Bob clip for this channel, but it's just that the amount of potential, people whose logos I can superimpose over his face gets longer every day.
Right.
So it's just like, at this point, do I do like a remix with every logo I can think of? Maybe that's it.
Maybe make like a video out of it.
Yeah, maybe.
I've got a really good idea for that. Like a fruit machine spinning around. So and you could stop a bit like Toasty's wheel, and you could just stop it on on a logo.
BBC.
So like his head is a fruit machine, and then it'll just stop on one random logo.
And you use that one for
I can figure that out. I can figure that out. Yeah. All right. That sounds kind of cool, actually. Thank you, by the way, Juneman, for the 5. John Grant for another 5. Literally says nothing whatsoever. So, given it's my birthday and he sent a couple of these now.
Drop it.
That's the only clip that never freezes when I play it. It always plays just perfect. Lovely. All right. Thank you, guys. Who else we got? Adam Juma for another $5. I mean, I don't even know how much that is total at this point. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's probably Dobon Honkro time for Adam Juma. Says it sounds like the end of Star Trek, the motion picture, but really, really gay. I assume that's the Doctor Who thing. It does kind of sound a bit like the sort of circle jerky shit that you get at the end of Star Trek, the motion picture, but really gay. And thank you.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real set of badonkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanhangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger bunk hanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga nonologangas.
I love it, man. I love that clip.
I love that clip, yeah.
Hungalunga nonologangas. Fucking nonsense. Brilliant. I love nonsense, man. I really do. James up for another 5 on top of everything else. Says the new ROX Xbox X is the next gen AMD Z2 chips, faster RAM, bigger battery. I may be getting this one since my tablet PC screen is cracked and old. Well, that is actually a pretty legitimate reason to want to get one.
Right. If you are looking at it as, because I think these hybrid handheld PCs are, I call them modern day laptops because they're easier to store in your bag. Like my Steam Deck, I use this, Wi-Fi keyboard with it. And
we're this close to getting controllers that you can use to drive cars at this point.
Right.
Which
And and it works with my PS5 controller. Like I can literally, especially on the Steam Deck, what's really nice about it is it's Bluetooth compatible to the PS5 controller. You don't even have to have it plugged in to actually have it work, where you have to. Yep.
You give me a Lamborghini that is controlled by one of these, and I will show you some fucking driving.
Oh yeah, dude! I was saying that back in GTA days because I'm actually like a pedestrian in real life, but I'm like, dude, if you could rig up.
Really? Oh man, I don't have the luxury. I don't have the luxury of that. I have kids.
I mean, I was always a guy who was able to, get a hold of things. People, I don't know. It's a long, silly backstory, but yeah, no, I don't drive. So when I go get groceries, it's like a 2-hour excursion. So,
there you go. No, well, there it is. That sucks ass, man. You should probably at least get a motorbike. Just get a ped.
That's what everybody always assumes about me. They're like, "Where's your motorcycle?"
Just get a scooter. Just get a fucking moped. Everyone drives mopeds in the Philippines. There's no stigma about it. It's fucking glorious. Come over here.
No.
Moped.
I
can get you a license for about $150.
Will, as soon as I can afford to get over to the Philippines, you've sold it to me already. Like, I'm just like, man, do I liquidate my record collection?
You will crash. You will crash 2 or 3 times before you learn to respect the traffic.
Right.
It happened to me, man. Anyway, Justin Channel said, "Happy birthday, Will. Appreciate you doing this long ass shit to help us through the day." I wouldn't have it any other way, buddy. I love what I do. I really do love what I do. My wife, it's a funny little story. My wife watched me try everything to make some fucking money to keep the game going here in the Philippines. Most successful I've ever been in the Philippines since I got here is this channel right now. And it's very simple. She told me, "I believe in you." And you can't put a price on that from your woman. Brilliant. When your woman turns around to you and says, "I have faith in you," a man will cry. Have you seen there's a channel, there's like this Latino couple that do short videos where a guy like pulls up to a hooker that's played by his wife, and he's like, "How much to tell me you're proud of me?" She's like, $100. What? Last week it was cheap. You want it or not? He's like, "Oh, fucking okay, $100." And she's like, "I'm proud of you." And he just bursts into tears. It's like, thank you, you angel." And then he comes back around and he's like, "How much to tell me you appreciate the sacrifices I make for this family?" She's like, $500. She's like, $500. She's like, "Do you want it or not?" He's like, "Oh, fucking $500. Here you go." And she looks dead in the eyes and she's like, "Hey, baby, I appreciate the sacrifices that you have made for this family." And he just, like, it's so funny. So yeah, when my wife told me, "Hey, just try the YouTube thing. That's what you've been talking about for years. Why don't you just fucking nut up and do it?"
All right.
Best decision I ever made. And I met all you fine people too, both in panel and in chat.
Indeed.
So thank you for that. And James Up, thank you for the 5 as well. Adam Juneman for 10. Okay, I'm just gonna end up playing all the clips today. Fuck it, it's my birthday. I can do what I want.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Hey, do what I want. Anyway, Microsoft is $1 trillion company. They can do what they want. Hey, do what I want. Yeah. And it doesn't hurt their bottom line. They could literally buy Sony and Nintendo and still have trillions. It's true. They could. They are the richest company in the world. Not one of, the richest company in the world.
Yeah. They literally have a media cable channel for news. That's what MSNBC is.
It's terrible that even exists, but it does. Thank you very much, Juneman, you absolute legend. I'm running out of ways to express my appreciation, so here, have some tips.
Oh, these? My boobies? My massive fucking titties? My super stuffed up milkies? My hunger bonger doinky boinkies? My fucking fabric stretching, wind flapping, gravity welling sex mounds? You mean these super duper ultra hyper goddamn motherfucking...
Even animated ones. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
They're all animated, buddy.
Yeah,
John Ruff, $5 says, "Happy 40th. I'm 69," which of course is nice. That's right. It is extremely nice. As I think I still have the clip somewhere. Here we go.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, when I say that, I mean here on this show they're animated, but Toasty. I get the real TV. Yeah.
What?
Right.
Anyway, you're 69. To this day, every time I go to 7-Eleven and someone charges me exactly 69 pesos for something, I always say, "Nice." And most of the time, it makes them start pissing themselves laughing. So, yeah, it works. Anywhere in the world, baby. TJAP Steve for $2. Leon has a hot take. Not Leon. Say it ain't so. I know. It's hard to believe.
No, I promise quick. So, a lot of you might not know, I do a panel stream every Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Smash actually does play games. So not this coming Monday, but next Monday, the guest of honor is Mike Pollock, which you might not know by name, but is the voice of Dr. Robotnik / Eggman. It's going to be wild. So, yes, come to my channel, Words of Paradise. We'll see you on the 24th because, who don't want to talk with fucking Eggman of all people?
President Trump? I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Hey, thank you. Justin Channels has become a member of the fucking Grift Force because, some people just know what Cookie Kaiju for Canadian $10 says happy birthday, Will, and thank you very much as well. What haven't I played yet? Oh, here.
We're clapping, we're clapping, we're clapping, 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 we're clapping, we're clapping, we're clapping, now we stop. Let's try twisting.
Man, I tell you, she would never be that placid these days. No chance in hell. She would be reaching for the phone that was recording, and she'd be going the whole time as well. She's got my angry face when I'm like, she does that face when she's like serious about something. And now she's actually learning a lot of little tricks and stuff. We've taught her to clap. We've taught her roly-poly. We've taught her all kinds of stuff.
So the video wasn't lost on her. We're clapping.
She's bloody amazing. I guarantee if I played her that, she'd end up clapping to it now. Yeah. Amazing. But of course, let's not forget that, and I'm just playing everything I've ever made. It's like greatest hits tour at this point. Fuck it, why
Celebration.
not? Having some fun. I haven't taught a karate yet. No, Curious Potato. Slay Every Game member for 3 months at this point now says happy birthday and belated Father's Day. That is very much appreciated.
Has Slay made an intro video of you yet?
I think a long time. You mean the wrestling thing? Yeah. A long time ago. Yeah, I was made very early on. Same sort of time as Hypno and Smash, I think. Which, by the way, again, don't ever Hypno and Smash someone, people, okay?
Right. That is a bit illegal in most places.
Fast jail sentence right there, okay?
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm able to make my own character models in wrestling games. I think the last time I did was WWE 2K. I think it was 23 was the last one that I bought. But at some point in time, like the last few days, like I got a whole bunch of AI art made from various people in our chat audience, and I'm appreciative of it all. I'm just kind of waiting for Slay to go and do an intro video for me at some point in time.
I mean, I have now got WWE 2K25, so I'm going to eventually explore it and have the official War Games match between the Bigetverse and or Gamergate 2 versus the Journalist Collective, and that will be fun. But what really sucks about it is the fact that if I just did it on WWE 2K14, I wouldn't need to do half as much editing work because you could do everything in the game back then.
I know.
It's ridiculous how much they've nerfed character creation.
So
you can have custom theme songs, custom ring ring.
Yeah. I mean, I used to buy wrestling games.
Belts,
that was always the game that I got.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I loved character creation. Like that's that's why I went to art school, was so like do gaming stuff because I really liked making character models and all that kind of stuff and everything like that. So wrestling games just they're just not what they used to be. At least in character creator part.
No, it sucks now. It really is trash. I don't know why they don't let you do it. It's like they've been purchased by DEI, and now you can't make fat wrestlers and super tall wrestlers. And interestingly, you can have male versus female matches, which they got rid of.
Which they don't even do on the shows.
Yeah, they got rid of them like from the games around about SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 or something. I remember we were pissed off because we used to like have this character called Lodge who wore an inside out bomber jacket and was a complete wanker, and his whole thing was he beat up women.
Yeah.
So we put him in matches against like Trish Stratus and stuff, and he kicked their asses all the time. Anyway, let's get on with some other stuff about the death of the gaming industry. Bit of negativity first. Borderlands 4 has its price confirmed, and fuck Borderlands 4. Fuck Randy Pitchford. Fuck Gearbox. And fuck you if you're gonna buy this stuff, because it ain't worth it, man. They're like, oh, it's gonna be $80. Yep.
It's
Base
deluxe
version
edition.
$70. Yep.
Yeah. $100 deluxe, $130 super deluxe.
Yep.
And with all those, add another 10% generally for tax. So $110.
You have to pay tax on top, right?
Yeah. $110 and $145 basically. So yeah,
this is exactly the shit that is happening. That is designed. Literally, I am sure that Wizard is right, that all the companies have had a couple of background phone calls and they've been like, hey, let's all raise our prices, and then let's all do deals with each other to get games onto this rental service. And then we can control everything. And there'll be no more pre-owned games because no one buys them anymore. So they can't sell them anymore. And as a gamer, I tell you collectively, game industry, to go fuck yourself. I will play 20-year-old games for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and it'll be a centralized server access where you have an authenticator. Like the whole point of having centralized networks is first they have information control in what you download, and then they have authentication control to have access, and that's the whole reason why they centralize it.
That's what the EULA is really about. Rhodey, you were going to say something there, mate.
I'm just saying, like, pretty much what you were saying, really. Anyway, like they're trying to price gouge people out of buying physical copies so that they can control your content. So, like, even like they can retroactively alter it, like we were saying. We've already seen cases, not necessarily with actual games, but with PSN, where movies that people have bought have been removed from their hard drives because Sony have lost the license to those movies, like Germany and a couple of other places. So I just think the price gouging is trying to force people to move into the digital environment and stop them from buying physical copies. And
Cookie Kaiju knows what the actual result of this is going to be. Sailing the seas, buddy.
That's right. It's all take
We're all
a
heading
trip to
down
Switzerland.
to Tortuga. We're going down there. Yep, that's right. We're all going down to the Grand Line. Gonna find ourselves some booty. Yeah, not very difficult at all. And you're right. It is so transparently, obviously, an attempt to centralize the game industry. And the problem is, anytime you hear any entity outside of a literal just a human being, any corporation or any government or organization or whatever, use the term centralize, you should be looking for enormous, gigantic red flags. Because they're everywhere. And this is why decentralized currency is working as well as it is, because the rebellion is on. There's this Cold War rebellion that's been going on for fucking years. You want to call it a culture war? It's more than just a culture war. It's war. It's a civilizational thing.
It's a war for humanity, quite honestly.
It is. And I just don't think that you can. And it's funny because I made a One Piece reference there. That is actually the story, the plot of One Piece. If you boil it down to its most core concept, it's freedom versus totalitarianism.
Right. Because there's centralization. Because the whole idea behind centralization is forced civility. Because, if you step out of line, you step out of turn, and they can have their digital currencies in place, well, then guess what? You lose your privileges. And that's why they keep promoting this concept of privilege now, too, because it's like, oh, well, right now they're yeah, right. You want to be able to, be S tier access, not just A tier. You know,
Why
not
would you
B
give up your
tier.
diamond status?
Right. So
Yeah.
it's all just a means to an end to you know, take away your sovereignty, your independence, your ability to actually have strength, you know, on your own and make your own good decisions in this life.
Yeah. And I don't know if any of the people I'm going to mention are watching right now. Probably not. But Wizard was right when he said, well, I was right when I said there's a silver lining. And the silver lining, of course, is the AA. And I'm gutted he's not here anymore because I wanted to talk to him about this, but there'll be time for that in the future. Plenty of time for it. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, this war isn't going anywhere.
No, and neither is this success story. This little bit of inspiration and heart that I feel like we need to end on for the good of everyone's morale. You know, Expedition 33, massive success, colossal, towering, titanic fucking success story. Stellar Blade,
cherry on the top,
gigantic fucking success story, unstoppable, backed by the people.
Yep.
Right? Like legitimate currency. It's backed by the actual people.
What was it? Over 3 million actual sales of copies for Stellar Blade now, wasn't that?
Well over at this point in time. Yeah, they did. I think they were at 33 days, and they had. And it was like all the threes. It was so
funny.
Serendipitous.
The Expedition 33 sold 3.3 million copies in 33 days.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. But the reason I brought up Wizard again is because he wants to like talk about this, and I want to talk to him about it. But what I really want to do is, if I can, at some point, get me, Hypno, Smash, and Wizard on the same stream, probably just us, and just debrief each other about Expedition 33's plot. Once I've finished it, I'll start trying to arrange that. I would love to do that. That sounds like a hell of a fucking stream.
Maybe make a hyperdrive time special or something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. We'll see when people are available, what we can get up to. I don't know. It's just something I'm announcing for the first time, but it's an idea that's been cooking in my head for about a month now.
Yeah.
But that's something I definitely want to do. Now, Expedition 33 has become Metacritic's highest rated game of all time. That is not a hyperbolic headline.
But that's a beautiful thing to read, and just like that is the cherry on top of all of this awesomeness.
It's an astonishing thing to actually see, and so obviously I went to check it out myself, because at the moment it has got a rating of what does it say, 9.8 on PC and 9.7 on consoles, which means that it is across the board, critics and fans, utterly beloved. Utterly beloved. This and to be the highest of all time, you've got to beat out the greatest of all time. Yeah, you've got to beat out Zelda. You got to beat out Final Fantasy. You got to beat out Metal Gear Solid. You got to beat out the real fucking juggernaut Mario. Exactly. You got to beat out the juggernauts of gaming. And if this is to be believed, then it has. Yeah. And
that's so awesome.
10, 10, 10, 100, 100, 100 out of 100. You don't even need to do that. 91, 9, 10, 91, 91, 93. Crazy. User reviews 97, 96% positive, 2% mixed, 2% negative. Don't know why anyone would be negative about it. I don't really want to find out.
Right.
This is a good game, not a great game, certainly not a masterpiece. Sank over 40 hours into. So I'll try. The parry evade system is tough. All right, get good, Scrub.
Yeah. That is somebody who's they're rating it based on their ability to actually.
Did Smash AT write this review? What's going on? Oh, by the way, I actually had a little bonus for us hitting the goal tonight. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Indeed. Here's the cake. Yeah. No. These ratings are really quite interesting. I am almost feeling like I might go to Metacritic after the show if we don't read into them even further to kind of see who is it that hates on this game, because I haven't had the chance to play it just yet, but it is definitely in my wheelhouse of things that I'd like to be able to.
Yeah, it completely looks like my sort of thing.
Thus begins my my new era of parodying other YouTubers with my goal targets.
Right.
So look
They have to
forward
get you some kitty headphones.
Oh no, there's already a cloak, a balaclava, and some black gloves in my itinerary. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Indeed.
But yeah, we are in parodying people territory. It's Will JT. That's right, you absolute bastards. You're going to deal with it now.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. I will begin having like tier 2 soon. That will be I dress up as other YouTubers. All right, just get used to it.
That's great. Well played, sir.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something for like the last year, and then it finally hit me. I was like, what if I did a cosplay of like Smash or Hypno or someone? Let's do it. Fuck it.
Yep. Yep.
So there we go. Anyway, the safe word for today is watermelon. Thank you, Sardoc Spamfish, for telling us that. Oh, by the way, it's not pronounced that. It's pronounced watermelon. And we move on. So, yes, obviously, at this stage, Expedition 33 is the highest rated game by users on Metacritic of all time, which is no small achievement. At the same time, and you know what? Fuck it. Before we get into that, I just want to say that before I finish Expedition 33, which I will soon, very soon, on stream, this is one of the greatest games I've ever played in my entire life. Like it's I don't know if it might be the best. I'm probably gushing too much because of recency.
I haven't had the chance to check it out yet, but I really loved Golden Sun.
Just get it. Somebody gift John fucking Expedition 33.
Please do.
For the love of God, he can run it. You just put your damn.
I'll put it on my Steam. I'm very interested in actually doing Steam-powered gaming with the problematic white guy, So yeah,
put it on the bloody the Toasty cosplay. Now that's going to be an interesting one. I just have to shave my head.
Right.
Somebody share John's Steam code in chat, and if anyone's feeling particularly generous, go drop a copy of Expedition 33 on John because he deserves it. And this is one of the best fucking games I've ever played. I can't stress enough how I still can't articulate why, and it's frustrating as hell. It's a combination of everything, though. That's the thing. It's completely sublime to play. Like, there ain't many games that I've ever said that about. It gets in your head.
Right.
What I'll say, I haven't had a chance to actually play it yet, because obviously with the stuff I'm doing, I'm concentrating on games from my childhood first.
Rhoda 2. Give it to Rhoda.
But what I will say is, like, from the streams that I've watched of it, the soundtrack is fucking amazing.
The soundtrack is beautiful.
Quite a few streams of it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased as a classically trained pianist. I'm like, this is really nice. Everyone else is kind of going crazy over it. I still think Uematsu's better, but I acknowledge that the guy who wrote it, being just a guy off SoundCloud that they found,
that's a really
has
cool
accomplished something that not many people could. Yeah. And it really deserves special recognition, not only for that, but because it is a beautiful, touching and moving soundtrack. It's very, very French. It's very, very existentialism, and that's exactly the tone they're going for, of course, with the sad violins and pianos and stuff. But some of the melodies are gorgeous. There are things that, yes, I'm a classically trained pianist. That's right.
I do completely,
which means that you prefer women.
But
I mean, my classical training has never let anyone down. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that's right. But
really,
I've seen little snippets. Right, I've seen snippets of Expedition 33 here and there, but I always just give it like a few minutes of time to just kind of like take in like a little bit of the music, and I don't want to know too much about.
You can tell.
Yes, I want to experience it all for myself.
You can tell how much reverence people have for this game by the fact that people who haven't played it will not watch other people stream it if they think they're remotely likely to enjoy it. They're like, no, love you, bro, but I'm not watching this shit. I gotta play this. Like,
yep.
And that's it. It's a very rare thing for a game to be that respected, and it takes everyone that you respect, or anyone you might sort of even slightly respect. It takes everyone telling you this is an incredible thing that exists, and we're all lucky to have it. And everyone is saying that. We're all basically saying thank you to Sandfall,
right,
for giving us this experience that we've all had a wonderful time. I think I saw a tweet of theirs the other day, and I wrote back to them. I tweeted back. I was like, I've had a transformative experience playing your game. Thank you for making it. It's one of the most beautifully realized and sublimely directed works of art that has ever. It's this generation's Last of Us, except it's better than The Last of Us.
Right. It's not going to have Neil Cuckman at the end of it.
It's wildly better than The Last of Us. That's the thing.
Right.
It really is. Like it. Last of Us was great because it hit that tone where you're like, our games are. Yes, they are.
Right.
Expedition
and it was a very
that entire conversation out of the water. There is no question.
Yeah, and at least originally, the first The Last of Us, because before Cuckman got involved, there was other creatives behind it, and and it was like a story about like being a dad and being pushed to the limit. You know, even if you're just like an adoptive kind of dad. You know, so it's
Well, I mean, I choose to ignore a lot of what Wizard said because I feel like I already knew it, but I also don't want to. I don't want to let it influence me. But I think he's right. I think everyone knows the decision I'm going to make at the end of this game before I do, and I'm like, if it's about protecting your family, then that's the decision I'm going with. There's not going to be any question about this, and it will happen very soon. It will be this week. I don't know when, but it will be this week. I just got to make sure I break all my characters first because I'm just interested to see what I can do. You know. Anyway, there you go. And the other, of course, gigantic success story is Stellar Blade. Because this is now the second year in a row that we are having the same exact fucking arguments. Like it's a year and change. No, I think it's exactly the same time last year that this game was making all the noise in the world, right?
Yeah, and, I know I was on the train to Seattle when a lot of people were making videos about it. So yeah, it was around this time last year.
When did it first release?
I think it might have been.
I want to say May, April 26th.
Yeah, I was gonna say April. Right. Yeah.
So we were still very much. Remember all the shit. I remember all the videos I made about it. I remember the Maxim Korea video where. Let me see if I can find that. That was so funny.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, what I loved is the creator of the game
streaming back then.
Yeah. The creator of the game was defending it recently, saying this isn't a mature rated game for adults. That should be the end of discussion on adult themed mods. And really it should be, because that's what it is. You know, like adult entertainment is just that. It's adult entertainment.
Yeah. This is not even strictly speaking adult entertainment. This is entertainment. But Maxim Korea, on the other hand, as you're about to find out, is, you know, adult entertainment. So YouTube, all right, shut up. It's my birthday.
Right.
Okay.
Will. You're in the territory of being too sexually gratifying on
Yeah. This was funny. This was very, very funny. Have we got subtitles for it?
핵심 뉴스 시작합니다. 여러분, 현실적인 몸매란 무엇일까요? 현실적이란 말을 정의하기 어려운 일이지만 최근 비현실적인 몸매라고 비판받.
So this is obviously Korea. If you don't know Korea, the women, a lot of them look like this. Same in the Philippines, although a little less busty. But you know, don't let that hold them back. They're also a lot more raunchy, so there's that. But you know, the whole point was all of the dicks out there in video game Shiltopia, Paul Tassi, and people like that, Jason Schreier, and people like that, and whoever the fuck the dude is who still works at Kotaku. They were all like, "Oh, it's unrealistic, beautiful. She's too beautiful. This is unrealistic expectations of beauty. This is not fair."
It's like,
and literally
might be unrealistic to them because in their life they've never actually been able to be in the presence
a woman
of
who looks like
attractive
this.
women. Right,
Exactly,
right.
Yeah, some of us actually can pull chicks who look like this, buddy. And those of us who can do. And we're not going to apologize for it. But then there's the other thing, which is, of course, the fact that they completely refuse to accept the reality. And this is the stupidest thing. The reality, it's like when Belinda Chandra says this waistline is completely ridiculous.
Right.
I don't know about that, man. You ever seen Dita Von Teese?
Right.
You know, and people like that. They got completely felted by Maxim Korea. Korea decided, you know what, we've had enough of this bullshit, because for months beforehand we all knew that it was, oh god, I've forgotten her name now. J something or other. I can't think of her name. The woman who provided the body model for Eve.
Yeah. Wasn't she married to one of the devs? I remember correctly.
No, the wife of the dev is one of the lead programmers.
Gotcha.
And she's fucking hot too.
Yeah.
But they got the what's her name? Her name is Shin Jae-yoon. That's it. Yeah. And she is ridiculous, man. She's hotter than the sun's stolen car. You know, she is crazy hot, feminine as fuck, and beautiful. Indeed. And so somehow this information had escaped the journo trash. So Maxim Korea took it upon themselves to set them straight.
받은 한 사건이 있었습니다. 게임 웹진 IGN 프랑스에서 한국의 게임 스텔라 블레이드.
That's right, it was IGN France. Of course it was, who decided that this was
데모판을 평가하며 게임 속 등장인물인
Grums gets a reference to. This is about the time when I realized Gamergate 2 was never going to die.
Yep.
이분은 그저 몸이 건조하다. 여자를 한 번도 본 적 없는 누군가가 만든
Also, there's a big difference between North Korea and South Korea, chat, just so you know.
성적인 측면이 부각된 인형이다 라며 비난했는데요. 하지만 여러분 아시는 분 아실 텐데요. 이 게임에 등장하는 이브 캐릭터의 바디 모델링은
Can a character modeled after a real person's body be called unreal?
표지 모델이기도 했던 신재은 씨를 기반으로 제작됐습니다.
There's her. That's her.
Yeah.
That's the model for Eve. They just changed the face.
현실에 존재하는 사람의 몸매를 기반으로 모델링한 캐릭터의 몸매가 비현실적이다. 이런 말이 되려나요? 요즘 여기저기서 많이 듣던 정치적 올바른 관련 이슈가 터진 건데요. 그래서 맥심에서 신재윤 씨의 몸매는
realistic and to educate.
Exists in reality.
I love the fact they use the term educate. To educate that Shin Jae-yoon's body is indeed realistic and exists in reality.
실제로 현실에 존재하는 현실적인 몸매라는 걸 교육시켜드리기 위해서 신재윤 씨의 표지화보 촬영장
to re-release the video of Shin Jae-yoon's photo
모습이 담긴 영상을 다시 한번 공개하기로 했습니다. 유튜브에 공개되어 있는
they're weird in Korea, man. I don't know what all this food stuff that they do is, but hey.
영상을 다시 한번 올린 것이긴 하지만요.
Here's the thing about it, Will. We found out people dig it.
Oh, yeah.
Like over on Toasty's channel, like we
people are into food, yeah.
Reina Huang, yeah, we found out that evidently like dudes like watching chicks eat copious amount of meat.
는 세계에 더 많은 분들이 시청할 수 있도록 영어는
Oh goddamn.
물론 일본어, 아랍어, 인도네시아어, 베트남, 힌디어 등의 자막을 달아서 영상을 공개했습니다. 그 결과인지는 모르겠지만 세계 각지에서 모여든 시청자들의 댓글로 로마 콜로세움을 방불케 하는
And the best part is this chick is here reading the news and she's like a fucking stunner as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's really hot. Like so you don't even need. It's like this is the chick they've got reading the news.
Yeah, and she looks so happy that she's taking the piss out of the IGN France folk.
I know.
She thinks it's hilarious.
She's having a great time right now.
Oh, these sad little freaks think we don't exist. That's so funny.
She's not remotely pissed off that like that this is about another woman being showcased as beautiful and sexy. She's like, hey, I'm doing pretty well. She's like, hey, it's good times, man. Nobody's here for $2. Hello, nobody. How you doing, man? Chat, be nice. Says, what are you guys watching for $2? Well, thank you. This is the video from last year, which about the same time last year, actually, when the Korean Maxim decided to felt the video game industry, who were trying to say that Eve's body was unrealistic by showcasing the model who they used to make Eve and proving that she does in fact exist in reality. And to be fair, her body is not like this is the thing, right? She's a lovely looking lady, Shin Jae-yoon, no doubt. I mean, gorgeous. She's not blowing my mind with the proportions of her body. I'm like, yeah, I've seen hundreds of women who look like this.
Yeah,
hundreds, thousands.
Feminine woman. Yeah.
That's a chick. She's got some knockers on her and nice curves and childbearing hips and decent legs and nice long hair, and she's feminine. You know, it's like that's what women look like. You know,
for the longest time in this country, even like it just be the norm.
Yeah. It's crazy. But there you go. Anyway, it is what it is.
뜨거운 열기가 느껴지는데요. 여러분, 현실적인 몸매가 뭘까요? 그 해답이 궁금하시다면 맥심 표지 모델 신재인 씨의 영상을 한 번 더 시청해 주세요. 다음 소식입니다. 거유 불급 맥심 4월호 표지 모델 감동란 씨의 표지 화보 메이킹 모습이 담긴 영상이 맥심 코리아 유튜브에 공개됐습니다.
Yep, that's a hot chick.
Yeah,
what's
dude,
wrong with that?
I wish the news was more like this everywhere.
There you go. I know this would be the best news ever. But there you go. So we are watching once again a fresh felting of the industry, thanks to, frankly, the just useless idiots that cannot in any way at all fucking
they're deluded in their egotism and their arrogance, and they have no willingness to actually reason by the basis of reality. And so it's just they're going to lose left and right going forward.
Exactly. And so here you go anyway. A year ago I remember thinking, I'm not buying a PS5 for this. I refuse. I don't care enough. I'll report on it, I'll watch people play it, I'll get as good a read on it as I can possibly get, and I'll participate because me and Hypno were like early adopters of the term Gamergate 2. I thought to myself at the time, this game is going to sell more on PC than it is on PlayStation. And I don't quite know why I thought that. I think it's because it's a Souls-like, in essence. It's, it's a gamer's game. And I knew because I had migrated. And I was a diehard console kid. Because I'd migrated, I figured I must not be the only one. And I started to see the numbers going up and up and up and up and up on PC. I was like, this game should have come out on PC first. It would have, or day and day. It would have been hilarious.
It was when we first started talking about how the age of console exclusives has to be coming to an end.
Yeah, it's dead.
Because it just doesn't make any sense anymore. It's limiting your access to the market, or at least staggering it. And exactly what all of you were saying at the time has come true, because with the launch on PC, it's just gone bang,
The thing I love about this and the other recent development, like I'd mentioned, I think it was The Last of Us, Spider-Man, and God, I can't remember what the other game is, but also Helldivers 4. Like I said, they lifted the region lock restriction off of them on Steam, and so this selling as well as it has on PC.
Well, just look at the headline.
Yeah,
You know,
if they aren't
19 times, 19 times faster.
Right. If they aren't
than on
learning the lesson
PlayStation
over at
5.
Sony right now, that it's like, all right, maybe we don't have to worry so much about putting out a proper next console. We need to actually get our shit together about getting stuff, you know, on PC and actually giving people a little bit more leeway. But, you know, I know that they're going to want to do the lockdown control method, but it's to their loss to try to pursue that, because Steam, you know, at least as long as Gabe's alive, you know, is far more, I guess, integral and noble in their aims for gamers and being gamer first rather than, you know, corporatist and all about profiteering.
Absolutely. So at this point, it's hilarious that they didn't release it on PC day and day, because they would have made money. They owned it. You know, it's a Sony owned property technically. Well, I mean, Shift Up owns, you know, they made it, they produced it, they published it in conjunction with Sony, so Sony stands to make some kind of royalty money on it, surely.
Yep. I can't wait for Shift Up to make their next property that is completely disconnected from Sony. That's going to be beautiful, because I know Arrowhead's doing that right now. They're working on something that is not going to be under the Helldivers branding, but it'll probably be just as good, but better. And that's probably why Sony's now relented and said, all right, those 130 countries can have access to it, because they're going to lose their ass otherwise. They're going to lose all their developers that they've got tangential connections to, because once you make good enough money and you don't have to have Sony be your publisher, why would you? Why would you put yourself through that and be restrained?
Exactly. So, I mean, it just shows that as much as we were all doomsaying, and this is why I kind of hoped Wizard could stick around a little longer earlier on. Although, again, we will have this conversation again. It's not all doom and gloom, because as much as the game industry is desperately trying right now to fucking corner us all and force us into, excuse me, a Game Pass model, there's so much money going to be left on the table if they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said,
now he wants and the creator's not even happy with it. He wants to make a better one.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I think you've got the thing that most people were interested in, right? You know. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
I trust
if you are any kind.
I trust the love they have for us. Yes. As gamers.
And the best part of all, of course, is the fact that the game industry shaggers, and they're not shaggers, they can't get laid. They're the incels. They can't actually handle it. They can't handle any of this. They don't know what the fuck to do. They're like, oh no, not again. Another year in a row. This game has fucking destroyed the narrative. This game is selling gangbusters right after Expedition 33-2, and oh fuck, it's all Cope, Seed, Guna Game of the Year, Stellar Blades mods are 41% smut. Nah, really? You don't say.
Wow.
For fuck's sake. Yes, guys, if you really want to, you can go. I've checked for research purposes only. I have checked, and there are half a dozen takes on what Eve's nipples look like on Nexus mods right now, if you turn off the filter. And yeah, apparently 40, but you know, I don't dig that at all. It's like, you know, the Nude Raider thing that was supposed to be like, was like urban legend of Tomb Raider back in the 90s. If we'd ever got that, it would have ruined Lara Croft forever. Yeah. Because then you've seen it and it's like, after that, it's It's the thing is about this is like, you know, post nut clarity a little bit. Where you're basically like, well, I've seen it now. There's nothing to wonder about. And there's definitely a part of the male brain that does not appreciate getting something too easily. Right. And so I will never install a naked Eve mod on the game because I'll be like, what's the point? Now I'm just seeing her naked. It's, I'm one of these guys. fuck, I always tell
Pleasure
you too much
delayer, as
information.
they say.
I'm a fan of lingerie. Okay,
Yeah.
I like me a well dressed lady, and I prefer that. For that, it's funny, isn't it? Because for special occasions, a lady actually has to put on some clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
put stockings and that garter belt there. That looks lovely. That's much nicer than just naked.
Yeah.
Because there's something about it. There's something that
But
appeals.
it's about having some class and having some mystique.
Exactly.
You know,
Mystique is the word I was
kind
looking
of-
for.
I mean, I would even use the word stage presence. That's not a word; it's a
Yes.
phrase. But you know what I mean.
No,
Oh,
but
no,
it's true.
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
much
it's
putting
like
down.
it's like this lovely, decorative, lacy, blah blah blah. That's basically like arrows pointing in the direction
Yeah.
of the thing. It's decorating it. It's like a window with no curtains. Otherwise, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. No, you're on point with that. It's like lingerie. It accentuates and enhances what's already
It's
there.
decoration. Yeah, it's already there.
makes-
It's already lovely, but let's make it a little prettier. You know?
yeah. No, it's and you get to gotta kind of see elements of a lady's personality and kind of thing.
Yeah.
You've seen a
She's
naked
put a
lady.
little effort into it today.
Yeah,
It's like
you've
the
seen-
bloke having a shave and throwing on a suit. The lady's wearing stockings under her skirt. It's like, no fucking way, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. I think I can take the restraints
A
off
woman
my wo-
almost naked is even hotter than a woman who is naked.
A woman
They're-
naked is less attractive, less stunning than a
Mhm.
woman who's almost naked, and what she is wearing is designed to make you
Titillating.
more excited. Yeah, exactly. And there's
Exactly.
something beautiful about that. As we all sit here verbally gooning, by the way, it's hilarious that we are doing this, but I don't care.
It's your birthday,
I'm a
man.
man,
Yeah.
bitch. I'm a man.
Yeah.
What do you want from me? I'm a fucking man. I'm
right.
never gonna stop being a man. I'm not gonna apologize for being a fucking man. I like some lingerie on my ladies.
That's right. I'm the
And
tuner
there you
squad
go.
general. What do you expect of me? I worked in a porn shop for how many years?
There we go. And I'm gonna go and
Yeah.
wake up my wife in a little while. But anyway. Like Peggy Bundy, you know.
That's the thing. It's like Peggy was actually pretty on point.
Peggy Segal
Al-
was fucking hot. She was hot in a trashy way. She was hot. Don't argue with it. Yes, of course, you have Christina Applegate running around distracting you at all times, but there's a charm to Katie Segal as Peggy Bundy. You know, she's trying. She's really trying to get her husband to fuck her. It's really sad. And he's just permanently distracted by this fucking conveyor belt of stunning 80s women as well.
Right,
Which is just such a hot era of women's fashion as well. Like, there's a clip from that fucking show where like he's in the mall or something, and this woman peeks out from a curtain, and she's like 18. And she
Mhm.
goes, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question?" And then he's like, "Sure." And she rips open the curtain, and she's just dressed in a bra, garter belt, panties, and stockings, and goes,
"Yep.
If you were my boyfriend, would you like this?" And he's like,
Yep.
And then she goes, "Or would you like it better without the bra?" And then takes it off. And he just faints.
Just falls over. I love that. Yeah. That's great.
Man, we're men. We like tits. We like vaginas. We like nice
right.
legs and beautiful asses. And there's no apologizing for that.
That's right.
Freaking ever.
Boobas
Hypno's
are
raiding us.
life.
Hypno's had time to leave the stream after super chatting and then raid us again. My God, that man never stops working. What a legend. Hypno,
Indeed.
if you're here, we want to get you, me, Smash, and real life fake wizard together on a stream. When we've all finished and hung up Expedition 33, we're gonna have a debriefing. I want to do that. Let's do that. That would
And
be
Smash
great.
was in the chat earlier, so there he is.
Smash is here, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I saw his super chat in a minute. We need to wrap this fucker up, and
Indeed.
I think the logical conclusion is that we've all just descended into verbal gooning. Let's get the little child off the screen, and move on with our lives, shall we? In the meantime, Sardoc Spamfish for $5 says, "Yeah, watching the fresh felting of the industry is one thing, but all years also watched something else. We watched some Korean Maxim news." enjoy. And I appreciate the raid. B man, have you got a link of someone else we can raid? Because I'd hate to waste this audience boost from Hypno. But we are going to wrap up fairly soon. Smash JT, by the way, thank you, Sardok. Appreciate you for the 5 poundingtons. Maybe we can go a little longer. Who knows? Smash JT is in the chat, realizing what I've done there. Says, Will JT, let's fucking go. Watermelon. Absolutely, sir. Well, or maybe the last people on earth who remember the Watermelon vines. But yeah, there you go. And yes, wee for everybody who's massively gay in the chat. And there you go. And thank you very much for the $4.99. Yes, guys, in 25 minutes it will be my 40th birthday, and so we are going to probably wrap up, frankly, because we've run out of stuff to talk about. But it's fine. I'll be back. We might do some gaming tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. It depends. My wife might have a surprise for me. You know, who God knows what might happen. So I'll let you know, and we'll let you all know. But until then, we'll see how it goes. But thank you in the meantime to Smash JT for the $4.99 and the water.
It's been a fun experience today, spending the last day of your 30s with you, having a conversation.
Yeah, I know, the last minutes of my 30s at this point. Yeah. There you go. Although technically, because of the time when I was born, it technically was the day after tomorrow in the Philippines when I was born.
Right.
But I don't give a fuck. That's not what it says on my passport. So, Griffiths Grim for $4.99 says, I've seen what makes these people clap. Hell is too good for these hypocritical journalist nutters. Happy birthday, Will. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And let's unpack the rest. Yeah, well, when you're the kind of monster who claps and cheers for Drag Queen Story Hour, and you have a problem with me looking at shapely female bodies and going, nice.
Right.
I think you've got a problem in your brain. I think you've got an incurable mental illness at this point. And I think you should probably just go to LA and try and stand in front of a car, because apparently the people over there have had enough.
Yeah, when you're sitting here telling grown-ass men that like they're behaving terribly for enjoying the feminine form, and then saying, but you know what would be better is if we could take
children,
degenerate loon, and put
children,
kids there.
Drag queens, furries, men in doggy suits. Fuck you.
Right. And then we'll have kids watch it, and it's like, whoa, yeah.
Incidentally, Sydney Watson just put out a fantastic video I watched a little while before I did this stream. It's called The LGBT Movement is Over. Go find Sydney Watson. If you don't know who she is, go watch it. She's pure fucking common sense. Really does great work. Go check out that video. Really good fun. Griffiths Grim, you're absolutely right. Yeah. It's the old adage. It's like, well, why would I care about what makes you cry when I've seen what makes you clap?
Right.
Get wrecked. You are disgusting. You're degenerates.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't. Me sitting here talking for half an hour about lingerie and stuff, I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you that you're a degenerate. Because I'm not perfect, you know?
Right.
And I've never professed to be.
Yeah.
I have my vices. I have my love of the ladies. And sometimes a little too much. But historically, trust me.
Right. But you're not trying to put that into the mind of children, though.
No, I've never. Well, no, never. I would never soberly or deliberately try to interfere with the psychosexual development of children.
Right.
You know, ever. And if I ever found out that I had been party to something like that, I would be doing my best to undo it as fast as fucking possible.
Right.
So there's that. No, get wrecked. If you support parading degeneracy in front of children, I there's a special 8th circle for you somewhere, and I pray you get there faster. Kind of ended on a bit of a dark tone there, but anyway, whatever. In 20 minutes I'll be 40 and I won't have to care anymore, because I'll be too old for anyone to care. I'll be falling out of demographics.
That's right.
In
That's right.
20 minutes. That's right. That's right.
Good place
I
to
am
be.
officially irrelevant in 20 minutes. It's fine.
No, man,
it's
I
fine.
turned 45 months ago. Believe me, nothing actually happens.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
I
So-
just like turning 30 then. Yeah. And turning 20 and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
else.
So,
Nothing
Rhoda, you're actually
happened.
older than I am because I'm only 44. That is news
Huh?
to me. I say you're 45.
I said 5 months ago, not 5 years ago.
Right,
He's
right,
the same
right.
age as me, buddy. He's the same.
Oh,
birth
you said
year.
45 months ago. Okay. Gotcha. 40.
Oh, yeah, not 45 months
I
ago.
thought you said you. I thought you
45
said
months
I turned 45 months ago, and I was like, oh, I thought I was the old
None
guy
of this
here.
makes
Yeah.
any sense.
No worries. But yeah, we're just a couple of 40-year-old dudes like talking about
as
tits.
in January.
As you do.
Fuck it. It's my birthday. Here's another
Yeah.
thing.
Come here, baby. Let me show something good. Something good. Something good. Something
You know what, Will? It's your birthday, and you're giving me gifts. You're like the greatest guy there is.
Well, just
happy
generous,
birthday,
you know,
man.
Just generous
Yeah.
like that. There we go. Many of you in the chat are, in fact, older than me by hours, days, weeks, months, years, and that's fine. So I'm sure I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
But there you go. Let's wrap this thing up. Thank you very much, everybody. Yes, in just over 15 minutes, I will be officially 40 years old, and that is totally fucking fine.
Yeah.
Like when I was, you know what it is? I'll tell you just quickly. When I was 30, which was a year before I came to nearly 2 years before I came to the Philippines, I was not remotely happy with my station in life. Nothing that I wanted had been accomplished yet. And that's one of the major reasons why I just decided I've had enough of this. I'm going to go off to do a reset somewhere, just figure out what the hell I want. This is before the term passport bro existed, by the way. I had no idea what I was walking into. I just joined a band and played piano for a few months and had fun with a friend from high school. It was later that I realized that Clunge was on tap, and you know, you could just go and do anything you wanted with no matter how many women in one night, in one session, if you wanted. You know, there's just things you can do here that you can't do anywhere else. As it stands, my goal never changed though, and now that I'm turning 40, I feel like I've done some serious catching up. So I'm very happy currently with my station in life. I'm now a husband. I'm a father of 2, nearly, and I'm putting my niece through a much better school than she was in before. So you guys, you all have something to say about that, and I appreciate you for making it possible. So thank you very much. And don't worry, this is all just played for laughs. I don't give a fuck that I'm turning 40.
Yeah,
that'll do for me. Rhoda, what you got coming up, buddy?
Good question. I'm still working on 4 separate music videos, which are going to be mostly here, but also on Rumble, specifically one of them. I'm hoping to still be able to do my Tomb Raider stream tonight, but I had a surprisingly long shift at work and I'm absolutely knackered, so I might postpone it until tomorrow. Ryan's show tomorrow. Hopefully back here with you guys on Thursday if you still want me. I know I was very quiet today.
Jesus Christ, look at this comment.
Oh, right.
Fucking hell, man. Birth is simply a reminder that you end. Enjoy. Christ. All right, thanks. Carry on, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. Random Final Fantasy 7 streams as and when I can. Then reset, start again. I think I've got a concert that I'm going to next week. I think I'm going to Billy Idol next week at some point.
Ooh. Billy Idol still touring?
Yeah, Wembley Arena.
Fucking amazing. I did not know that. Bastard. I wish I could go to that. Billy Idol's awesome.
But yeah, just trying to do as much content as I can and live as much life as I can and have as much fun as I can while I can.
Yeah, good. While you can, yeah, because apparently we all end. But
Indeed, we are finite. We are finite, unless we're wizards.
That's what makes it point. Like,
no, we're finite.
Isn't that there's like one of the major themes of Expedition 33 is like, what if you were immortal? What if your life became impossible to end?
Right.
And wouldn't you go insane sooner or later, watching everyone you love die and everything you knew change and nothing you can do will ever bring it to an end? What a terrible fucking fate.
Right. Who wants
So
to
there you
forever,
go.
right?
I'd rather be awesome for a little while than all right forever. You know? And it is better to burn out than fade away, by the way.
Indeed.
As far as I'm
Quote the
concerned.
Kurgan.
There it is. Right. John, what you got?
Of course, again, happy birthday to you, sir. Hope you have a wonderful day ahead with that.
Thank you.
But yeah, of course, I'm here with you throughout the week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays at this time, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. And then Tuesday with Toasty, of course, as well. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays with Toasty at 6 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Pacific. However, we are changing things up a little bit on Tuesday for Latina Candy. They decided that they want to go back and forth between Toasty and Sonia's channel. So if you guys want to check out Level Up Latinas, I don't know if they're quite what the name's going to be. They're theoretically going to be doing the show there today on Sonia's channel. So please do go check her out as well, even if we end up doing something. But yeah, that of course, along with Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific, noon, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, for reality based on Rumble with Ryan, Roger, Athay, Spears in the chat. And Saturdays I do the
Spears
Week in
out for
Culture.
Athay.
That's right. Saturdays I do the Week in Culture with Honey Badger Arcade at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. With all of that said, thank everybody who joined us in the chat today. I think we had an amazing conversation with Wizard, and I can't wait to have more, because every time we talk to him, it's always a blast. But yeah, safe travels ahead. Have a wonderful week going forward. Be awesome as always.
Yep. Yeah, it was really cool having Wizard on. He's got the fire, which I like, because so do I. And it brings it out of me when there's someone who's just as pissed off and passionate as I am about it. So, yeah, I really dig that. He's also got a great knack for cutting to the actual point of every issue, rather than just wanking around the periphery of it, like a lot of YouTubers do. He's like, no, this is what it actually means. This is what will actually happen.
Right.
And he's
That's
right.
why the conversations are so good, because it's not this circle jerky merry-go-round of bullshit of interchangeable names and faces going to the same surface level insanity week in,
Exactly.
week out.
It's not just half a dozen people just fucking wanking around. It's like a few people going, we're going to cut straight to the core of this and why this is cancer for your future and your enjoyment of media and and that's what we all actually should be doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you guys like stuff like that, you definitely should check out the Week in Culture over on Honey Badger Arcade, because that's what we do there basically every Saturday, is conversations like that, where it's just like, let's just get into these
You
things.
should. I've seen that show. It's good. It's good. It does a lot of the same things. Like, okay, so this is what it actually represents. This is what it actually means.
Yeah.
This is where we're actually going to go.
Yeah, Brian's been covering this stuff for over 10 years. So yeah. he's
he's
dived
game to
into
get
all
one.
this. Yeah, he's great.
He's legit. All right, boys and girls, thank you very much for checking out episode 121 of, which show is this? WTF Live.
Yeah. White Time Friends.
White Time Friends, Wigger Trigger Fanatics. Thank you very much to everybody for your very kind, really very kind donations today. We did really well. So thank you very much to Sardoc, Anime Mania, St. Hugo, DramaticaLaur, Disgusting, Hypnotic with the Red Boy. And thank you for that so much. You have no idea, man. That's like a significant chunk of this month's like bills that will be taken out. Anime Mania again, Disgusting again, Adam Juman like a million times, 40k Emperors, James Up with the 50. That's a beautiful pink boy there. Juman again, John Grant, Juman more and more and more, James Up, and again, the same people just being absolute legends. John Grant again, TJ Steve again, Justin Channels joining the Grift Force, Cookie Kaiju, Slayer of a Game, Nobody, Sardock Spam Fish, excuse me. Just about swallowed some saliva there. Smash JT, yes, I am wearing your hat. And that's just the start of my plans. Not necessarily for you though, Smash. Griffiths Grim as well. Thank you, everybody. I will try and have a happy birthday. Maybe we'll be able to get some gameplay going at some point. If it's not tomorrow because my wife does something, surprises me or whatever, then we'll do it this week. We can have a bit of a game sesh. We might even open it up to a couple of people if we don't have the numbers that we want. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, I also would kind of like to do some Jackbox stuff as well, because I think that shit's hilarious, especially when you can get the audience involved. There's a lot of things I'd like to be doing. I don't necessarily have the time for all of it right now. Hopefully things will begin to stabilize by the end of next month, roughly around about the time my daughter is born, you know, living, breathing, sleeping through the night, and my wife is back from surgery, you know, because it's a C-section. So all will be well before the end of the year, and we'll start the fucking new era. In the meantime, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go have a fucking drink because it's my birthday. I'm going to bed. Don't expect hyperdrive time in the morning. I know I've already scheduled it, but I'm probably just gonna leave it until Thursday because I'm knackered. I literally slept at my desk through the show this morning, so I think I need to sort of rejig my sleeping pattern a little bit. So I think I'll just take a day off tomorrow, unless we're playing some games. Yeah. And if you are also even a little bit more inclined to help us out, remember that there is the fundraiser to help my father in the top of the screen. It's also just been linked in the chat by B-Man. Thank you, B-Man. Great mod. Awesome. He's broken his hip, and I'm still waiting to get a second opinion. It's surprisingly hard to get a house call doctor in the Philippines. And the stress and strain of putting him on another fucking stretcher in another fucking ambulance, and the bills would take money out of the fundraiser rather than bring it. So I'm trying to figure something out. In the meantime, I appreciate you all massively for actually helping us to save my father's life if we can, or extend it, give it some comfort. We have had some crazy donations over the last couple of days. Someone completely anonymous gifted us an incredible amount of money. It was 80,000 pesos.
That's amazing.
Which I think
big chunk of what you were talking about being the thing that
I'm not wrong. That's $1,400.
That's great.
I don't even know who it was. So whoever you were, make yourself known. Privately, not publicly, if you don't want to. And,
that's great.
But Jesus Christ, that's astonishing. I don't know who the hell that was, but thank you. And Disgust Thing as well, who just keeps dropping little 1,000 bombs every now and then, and Sonia as well, and Noel Kerins, and my buddy John Aitken, who's the gay lad I always talk about. He's a great friend of me. Mine, and my dad as well. He was the first person to buy my dad's first book. So yeah, if you have any inclination to help, I'm not going to beg. We're almost there. If you can give anything, will be graciously accepted. And that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go hang out with my wife, have a beer, and go to bed. And I'll catch you guys either tomorrow evening, like same sort of time as this, with some gaming, or during the afternoon. I'm just going to wing it. But I will be back for hyperdrive time on Thursday. So
indeed, enjoy some beautiful women in lingerie. Have a happy birthday.
Go look at some women in lingerie. It's just good for the soul.
Indeed.
Like seriously, it is.
Seriously, makes you live longer as a dude.
I think it does. Yeah, I think there's actually there's
studies on this. Yeah,
and most of the Renaissance statues were naked.
Yeah, they're promoting long life. Yeah,
beauty is infinite. It never ends. And you shouldn't hide from beauty. So go look at some smut.
Indeed. That's right. As your non-predators legal counsel and healthcare advisor and former
Yeah, as your unqualified doctor and social worker, I'm here to tell you go and goon away.
Find the boobas. Yeah, it's good for you.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna play some out of date credits that I still haven't updated yet. Sorry, chaps, it's been a bit of a long week. If there is someone live, I will find them and we will link to them and we will go straight to them. Otherwise, I'm just going to link to whatever the hell I feel like. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you, everybody, so much. I'll try and have a happy birthday and I'll catch you on the other side. Take care.
Later out.
And
Safe
bye-bye.
travels.